She would be impressed by your best shirt that you're wearing today.
It's pink.
Is it a pink? Let me get my specs on. It's
kind
kind of like a washed out kind of pink. It's nice.
Well,
there's a nice
saying
fit.
that it used to be pink, and I've
you just overly washed it.
Everyone is insulting me this morning.
I know. What else did anybody else say to you? Now you're joking.
That's the only one we can say on it.
That's not an insult. That's a nice shirt.
Pinkish. It's designed to look like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of slim fitting.
Yes.
And you carry it off well.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, from your chest upwards. Camera doesn't lie.
That's the dad bod, you know.
No, you're okay. Should we all have it, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. You have to run around in the shower to get wet, you. Listen,
Have a
thanks,
good
mate. See you tomorrow morning. It's the 9 till noon show coming up after the news headlines at 9 o'clock. Good morning, Michaela Clark.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. Tributes are being paid to one of the principal architects of the Good Friday Agreement who has died at the age of 77. The former First Minister of Northern Ireland, David Trimble, passed away peacefully yesterday following a short illness. The Nobel Peace Prize winner was a former leader of the Ulster Unionist Party and served as First Minister from 1998 to 2002. Former Taoiseach and Fianna Fáil leader Bertie Ahern believes history will remember him for his bravery.
I think it'll remember him as a politician who, in a really difficult time when we were trying to end 30 years of violence, in spite of everything, stood up, put his name to that agreement and allowed us bring peace.
An emergency payment scheme is being made available for homeowners in Derry and Strabane whose properties were damaged by Saturday evening's floods. People are being urged to immediately contact Derry City and Strabane District Council to register their home to avail of the Department for Communities Emergency Payment Scheme. Up to £1,000 is being made available to householders to help make their home fit to live in following inspections by council staff. So far, more than 300 homes have reported flood damage. Fines for drivers who speed or use a mobile phone are set to double. The new regulations, due to be brought in by Junior Transport Minister Hildegard Naughton, will see fixed penalty charges rise above €100 for the first time. It comes as 5 people were killed on Irish roads over the weekend, bringing the total number of lives lost this year to 94. 61 new speed cameras will go live this morning, which will be spread across 23 counties, mostly on regional and national routes. 3 are being rolled out in South Donegal at Birchill, Drumbay and Carrickboy. Junior Minister Hildegard Naughton outlines which offences will be impacted.
I'll be doubling the fines for speeding offences from €80 to €160. For people who are using a mobile phone while driving, I'll be doubling that fine as well from €60 to €120. And people who are not wearing seatbelts is also doubling.
And for weather now, today will be partly cloudy and dry, apart from isolated light showers. Highest temperatures of 15 to 17 degrees. That's all from Highland Radio News for now. We'll be back with news again at 10 o'clock. Until then, good morning.
Loading at Ballybrit. And they're off. Best friends Tip and Bookie's favourite are quick out the gate. Oh no, each way banker's been pulled up and Dad's advice takes a fall. As new binoculars comes into focus, it's anyone's race. Down the home straight, it looks like a photo finishes on the cards. Selfie Absorb was close, but Best friends Tip nips her at the post.
For our most comprehensive Galway races coverage, pick up your Galway Punter Racing Supplement. Free all this week with the Irish Independent. Up close and independent.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today. And now, it's time for the talk of the Northwest. The 9 to noon show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
Hello, good morning to you. 4 minutes past 9 just turned on this Tuesday, the 26th of July, coming towards the end of this month, over halfway through the summer. Hopefully you're well. Later on in this programme, lots coming up as always, of course, we will be chatting to the 2023 Mary from Dunloe winner. Now, it has yet to be determined, but all of the Marys will be joining us after 11 o'clock. So if you have an interest in that, you might want to stay tuned for that. And you can watch them joining us in studio as well as you can the whole programme by going on our website, highlandradio.com, watch on your browser there. Or if you want to cast it or watch on your tablet or wherever, it might suit you better to watch on YouTube, Highland Radio Ireland, or across our Facebook pages, and we stream it on Twitter as well. We want you involved in the conversation today, 086 60 25,000. Your WhatsApps and texts to that number, of course. From outside the Republic, 0035386 60 25,000. Get on the phone, 074 91 25,000. Have your say, raise your issues. Outside the Republic again, 00353 7491 25,000, and your emails to comments@highlandradio.com. All right, lots to get through as always this morning, so let's crack on with a look at what's making the front pages and inside today's newspapers. Let's start with the Donegal Democrat. A rock, someone you would aspire to be like, a man of justice, empathy and compassion. Those are just some of the many ways in which Garda Charlie Gallagher will be remembered by those who loved and knew him best. And it was a reflection of the esteem in which the late Garda was held that despite torrential rain there was a huge turnout for his funeral mass at St Mary's Church, Killimar, Donegal Town on Sunday afternoon. From Newtown, Donegal Town, and formerly of Belcritch, Kincastle, he sadly passed away at Donegal Hospice last Thursday. Members of Full Masters GEA Club were among those to form a guard of honour, while his Garda colleagues carried and accompanied his remains to and from the church. And he really was held in incredibly high esteem. And just reading some of the obviously sadness from those that knew and worked with him, but also the amazing tributes that were directed towards him following his very sad passing. The Derry Journal this morning, almost 5 years after flooding devastated Inishowen, another major clean-up and repair operation is underway following an intense rainfall event on Saturday that created significant damage from Muff to Greencastle. Homes, businesses and infrastructure in Inishowen, Derry and Strabane was severely damaged after almost a month's rain fell in a matter of hours. The Department for Infrastructure in Northern Ireland confirmed to the Journal that 70 millimetres of rain fell in just 5 hours, just short of the average monthly rainfall for the locality. Donegal County Council said the most significant damage caused to roast infrastructure was a parapet wall that collapsed on a bridge on the R238 regional road at Redcastle between Quigley's Point and Morville. On to the Irish Daily Times now. The Irish Times, sorry, it is published daily, but it's not its name. Former First Minister of Northern Ireland and Nobel Peace Prize winner David Trimble has been remembered as a political giant following his death aged 77. The Ulster Unionist Party, which Mr Trimble led between 1995 and 2005, issued a statement on behalf of his family yesterday evening. It's with great sadness that the family of Lord Trimble announced that he passed away peacefully earlier today following a short illness, it read. Mr Trimble played a central role in the Belfast Agreement negotiations and was jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize with former SDLP leader John Hume for their achievement in brokering the historic peace. And tributes have been paid, and we'll hear some of those and look at his life a little later on in this programme. Also, the Dáil could be getting a second chamber under proposals aimed at making politics more family friendly for politicians and Leinster House staff. The goal of the reform would be to allow Dáil business to be conducted in both chambers simultaneously so that proceedings finished earlier in the evening. Now, history will tell us that means we'll probably end up looking at TV pictures of two empty chambers unless there's a big vote that might save the government's skin, or maybe it's about pay rises. Ceann Comhairle, Sean Ferriel, revealed the proposal in an interview with the Irish Times, where he also spoke about the growing abuse levelled at politicians and his hope that US President Joe Biden will address the houses of the Oireachtas. On to the Irish Independent now, and it tells us, amongst other papers, that thousands more doctors, nurses and midwives and other specialists will be needed for the health service to tackle waiting lists and care for a surging number of elderly patients. The Economic and Social Research Institute today identifies potential black spots in cover as the population grows substantially to 5.4 million, with people now living longer. And sometimes the tone of these articles, it reads to me like as if it's a bad thing that people are living older, or that if more of us live older, that we're to blame. You know, the HSE, the government, they know where our population levels are going. And really, it's up to them now to be ensuring that they have adequate staff to meet the needs of the taxpayer, the people that pay for this country. Well, essential services, including hospital care for the elderly, efforts to slash waiting lists and the implementation of the Sláinte plan will require a significant recruitment drive. The research funded by the HSE focuses on acute public hospitals' workforce requirements across the country between 2019 and 2035. Up to 5,500 extra workers will be needed in the coming years, the ESRI warns. And you wonder where they come from, because I think there's been a fall-off in those seeking to become nurses in this country. Probably for obvious reasons, because there's so much negativity coming from that area, you know, in terms of difficult working conditions, pay, comparable conditions elsewhere. People are choosing different career paths. And of course, that means there's going to be a shortage of nurses, and there is already nationally and internationally, a shortage of nurses. So it is... they need to do something to encourage people into that profession as well and make it attractive so as that they stay here once qualified. The Irish Daily Mail this morning, this is like an editorial from the Grim Reaper directed at me. Taking regular naps could increase your risk of suffering a stroke, scientists claimed yesterday. Their study discovered that middle-aged people who have short sleeps during the day are 12% more likely to have high blood pressure than those who stay awake. Now, I'm not sure if the high blood pressure might make you more inclined to nap, or if napping might be inclined to make your blood pressure higher. But it was also found that they were 24% more likely to have a stroke. The findings were based on medical records and surveys of 350,000 British people over the age of 40. The research involved people who took part in the UK Biobank study and were asked, do you have a nap during the day? They could answer that they napped never or rarely, sometimes or usually. Napping can be a sign that someone is not getting enough sleep at night, a problem that has been linked with high blood pressure. The risks varied with age. The under 60s who regularly napped had a 20% greater risk of high blood pressure, but this fell to 10% for the over 60s. Men, older people and those with more health problems and a higher body mass index tended to nap more during the day. But sleep specialists would tell us that if you're not getting enough sleep at night, you should nap during the day. But as I say, I'm not sure if it causes issues or if it's a symptom of issues. A study today from Bernardo's tells us what we already know, because we're all worrying about it, depending on how many children you have going back to school. Bernardo's is calling on the government to provide free school books for all children as costs for parents soar. The children's charity's annual back-to-school survey found the average cost of sending a fourth-class pupil to primary school is €424, while a first year in secondary school costs €814. Now, this is bills that we're sort of trying to pay into, I suppose, over summer, but they're coming just as we're heading into winter and using more electricity and maybe planning towards Christmas and wondering how we're going to fill that oil tank. This is a levy on parents that they simply cannot afford. The survey of 1,132 parents also shows the majority are under rising financial strain. Half said recent cost of living increases have made it much more difficult for them to find the cash for their expenses. 1/3 said spiralling costs have made it slightly more difficult. But, you know, half of the schools, I'm not sure if it's half in the county or half across the country, have book rental schemes. Every school should have that at the very, very least. And as I said before in this programme, I've been saying for years, generic school uniforms, affordable school uniforms. A circular went out from the Department of Education a long time ago, years ago, imploring schools to make affordable school uniform options available. But many don't. You still have to go to a particular shop to buy a particular uniform with a particular crest at great cost, and layer onto that hoodies, which can be optional, but still, you know, then we start hearing from our children we want the hoodie, tracksuits, which can be branded and expensive as well. You know, the Department of Education has implored schools to have affordable generic uniforms. Many still don't. Have you a view on that? 086 60 25,000. The Irish Daily Mirror this morning tells us that Micheál Martin said he does not see Mary Lou McDonald becoming Taoiseach, but has not ruled out going into government with her party in the future. However, he said Sinn Féin should stop filling younger generations with a poisonous narrative about IRA killings during the Troubles. Mr. Martin launched a scathing attack on the opposition party and said they should fess up about historic IRA violence. And this is quite interesting because there had been some within Fianna Fáil that said that backbenchers, not backbenchers, but, you know, rank and file, that said he was too soft and certainly too soft as it relates to Sinn Féin. So obviously he's taken that on board and has gone all guns blazing. However, the Taoiseach admitted their narrative on the conflict in the north may not be something that would become a breaking point for a potential political relationship in the future. When asked how he would cope living in Ireland one day with Mary Lou McDonald as Taoiseach, he said, I don't anticipate that. I don't anticipate that at all. Of course, there is an election to be fought in 2 years' time. We are in a democracy. Elections are there to be competed, so I don't anticipate that. It's not a certainty by any means. So Micheál Martin is of the view that Sinn Féin won't win the next election, and Mary Lou McDonald will not be Taoiseach. That is his view. Just one more paper this morning, and it's in the Irish Daily Star, in case you're interested in what the spending habits are of prisoners. Well, they've got you covered. Inmates are expected to spend up to €80 million in sweets, tobacco, fizzy drinks and other items from prison tuck shops over the next 4 years. That's $20 million a year. The Irish Prison Service has signed a contract with wholesaler BWG Foods, UC, for the supply and delivery of products for tuck shops in the country's 12 detention facilities. Around 1,500 items are available to inmates at the on-site shops, but tender documents reveal that sweets, biscuits, cakes and desserts dominate a list of the most popular products. These include Jelly Tots, Skittles, Jammy Dodgers, Kinder Bueno, pineapple Swiss roll and iced buns. Inmates' favourite biscuits include Jaffa Cakes, chocolate hobnobs, lemon puffs and the classic rich tea. Well, if you were interested, that's the info. They're going to spend €80 million on that kind of stuff in prison over the next 4 years. That's according to that newspaper. Okay, let's crack on with the show by taking a quick break. Stay with us. The first guest on the way.
The newspapers are courtesy of Kelly Centra, Mountaintop, Letterkenny.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering MyCU current account and debit MasterCard, bringing full banking features, delivered with the same local trustworthy service of your credit union.
Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure has everything you need for getting fit in 2022. From training gear to resistance bands, skipping ropes, weights and foam rollers, we have all the essentials to see you through every step of your fitness journey from training to recovery. Shop our range of gym wear, equipment and accessories at michaelmurphysports.ie.
Don't sleep in and miss the very latest beds and mattress offers from dfibeds.ie, Ireland's leading online bed and mattress retailer. You'll get a comfy Irish-made mattress, upholstered base and headboard from an amazing €229. Check out the full range at dfibeds.ie. Delivery free and guaranteed to you within 7 working days. DFI Beds. Sleep well, live well.
Beat the cost of Brexit with no customs charges. Do you need a UK address for your limited company or personal use? Space Hub in Derry can provide you with your own mailbox. Have your post and parcels delivered to Space Hub and collect at your convenience. There's brand new 20-foot shipping containers now in stock, ideal for all your storage needs at our Springtown and Coolmore depots. Find us on Facebook at spacehubderry.com or call 04871 878077 for more details.
Dogs, cats, rabbits, birds and fish. Some of the popular home pets that need care and attention every day. At Gary's Pet World, our fully trained staff are here to help you and your pets. We offer great advice and value on all foods, accessories, grooming and care products, with incredible offers on all leading brands. Shop in store at Gary's Pet World, Letterkenny Retail Park, open 7 days per week, or browse and buy 24/7 at petworld.ie.
Forward Emphasis International, based in Mallinhead, are recruiting for their customer service teams with both in-office and hybrid opportunities available. Experience in contact centres or insurance services is desirable but not essential, as full training will be provided. Insurance qualifications available with bursary and study support also provided. Please visit their website www.forwardemphasis.ie and apply via their careers page.
Okay, we are joined on the programme now by former managing editor of the Derry Journal, Pat McCart. Pat, thanks so much for taking the call today at short notice. I appreciate it.
Not at all, Greg.
Okay, and we are speaking in the context of the passing of former First Minister and co-architect of the Good Friday Agreement, David Trimble. It's fair to say, isn't it, there would be no peace process, or certainly a peace process as we know it, without David Trimble.
I think someone described him as the right man in the right place at the right time. He started out, Greg, as far as I remember, as a member of the Vanguard Party, which was a pretty right-wing party. And the last person I think a lot of people thought who would make peace would be someone of that ilk. But along came Trimble, and he was the guy that actually did the deal with John Hume. So you're right. I don't think there would have been a peace process without him. I think that was the Taoiseach described him as a man of courage who played a crucial role, and I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, and in the lead up to the agreement, whilst the agreement was being negotiated and signed, and afterwards as well, he had to sell this agreement to unionists, and that would have been a tough time because, of course, it took a while for decommissioning to kick in, and an awful lot of ground had to be given before that. So, he had a lot of work to do, not just leading up to the signing of this agreement, but, as I say, selling it to members on the ground afterwards.
Yeah. At the time, I don't think it was appreciated by the nationalist community. I remember Eamon McCann famously remarked that Trimble, when he got the Nobel Prize, was a man who had won the lotto without buying a ticket. But in retrospect, I think that judgment now comes across as a wee bit harsh because he was pushing like water uphill all the time. And every time there was a big decision, he used to have to sort of run back to the Ulster Party and the Ulster Unionist Council and so on. And he was reluctant to make decisions. But at that stage, he was walking through a landmine every day, every second of every day. And I think it took a lot of courage because he was changing. They had 50 years of unionist domination at Stormont. Here, suddenly, there was going to have to be power sharing. For the Nationals, any gains was a 1-1. For the Unionists, any loss was a lose-lose. So he was trying to manage expectations while at the same time being realistic.
And of course, too, another part of his life that springs to mind was following the Omagh bomb. He defied Orange Order rules effectively to attend the funerals of 3 Catholic children. That was post the agreement being signed, a pre-decommissioning, if my memory serves me correctly. It was very important politically at that time, presumably, how that tragedy was handled. In other words, it could have undone, as well as being an awful human tragedy, it could have undone the progress in peace talks up until then.
Yeah, he did a lot of... Greg, he was a rare character. I met him a couple of times, and one time I sat beside him at a dinner. Now, he wasn't the most, naturally engaging person, but he was very polite. He had been an academic. He was a law lecturer at Queen's and so on, and he was very analytical. No matter what you said to him, he sort of nearly processed it before he gave you an answer. And I remember that at the time after the Omagh bombing, a lot of the rules were, if you remember the Orange Order, you could not attend a Catholic funeral. I think he made the decision, look, this is far more important than anything else. And he went along to the funerals, and it was like Orange Order quietly dropped all this sort of stuff that went on behind it. So Trimble, despite maybe his appearance of, being, like for instance, he had a really bad relationship with Tony Blair. It was fraught from almost day one. Alistair Campbell, Tony Blair's spin doctor, said he was a very awkward and sort of person to deal with. But he was the right person in the right place at the right time, and that seems to be the general consensus. You started off by asking the question: was he the right person at the right place at the right time? He most certainly was.
More recently, of course, he was very pro-Brexit. He joined the Conservative Party, held the whip, of course, and was a strong advocate for that. I mean, he took a position and he would stick with it, in fairness to him.
Yeah, he was definitely on the right of the political spectrum. Like when he started off Vanguard, and Greg, he came to prominence. You see, there's a whole sort of dichotomy of this man. He came to prominence in, I think, 1995 or around that anyway, when he led one of the Drum Cree marches. he was a real unionist hardliner. So it was almost as if he was the last person anyone expected would make peace with or agreement with nationalists. Yet he did, and even in later life, he joined the Conservative Party. He became an ardent Brexiteer, and so on. So he was probably very consistent. He was no left wing lolly-livered liberal. He was very much on the right conservatively. Excuse me.
And as we approach the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement, it's not that far away now. He's the latest of some really important figures in sort of agreeing that to pass away. It's remarkable how few really are
Greg,
left.
I think they're nearly all gone. Hume's gone, Mallon's gone, Paisley's gone. No, Trimble's gone.
Mullen, Alistair.
Well, I suppose the other set of friends is Tony Blair, Bertie Ahern, and a few people like that. But the actual sort of figures in the north, most of them are gone.
Okay. Right, listen, Pat, thanks for the time this morning. I really appreciate it.
Not at all, Greg.
Take care of yourself. Okay, that's former managing editor of the Derry Journal, Pat McCart there. What are your views? 08660 25,000, or give us a call on 07491 25,000. Right. We didn't get to all of the comments that came in yesterday, so I'll catch up on a couple of those. I've been on holidays in Gwyddor for 6 weeks, and I can't really moan about the weather, says this caller. We've had very little rain, lots of warm days, and some hot weather. I honestly think we have the best climate in the world. We can grow our own crops, and there's always water on tap. We can go to the bog for turf. That will heat the homes in winter if the government allows. Well, they have to now. Look around the world to see the problems they have with fires, floods and earthquakes, and thank God that you live in Donegal. I get you, and you're right, and I appreciate your comment. I think, though, other than the serious things in life, the weather's one of the things we love to talk about, and we, unashamedly, will go from a Monday when it's quite cold to saying, I wish the sun would come out, I'm sick and tired of this cold weather, to the sun coming out on a Tuesday and us saying, God, I can't stand this hot weather. It'll be great when it cools down a bit. And that's just who we are, and that's what we do. Greg, does anyone... Actually, there was an incident at Scally Place yesterday. Turned out to be a hoax. I wonder if that message... I'll read that message. It might be connected to that. I'll read that and come back yesterday. Come back to it in a bit. Sorry, not yesterday. Farmers in the drought-stricken areas of the USA, Utah, Arizona, Colorado and New Mexico have small aircraft, says this caller. They fly over their own land spraying chemicals, including silver iodine, at heights above 6,500 feet. The chemical reaction causes water particles to accumulate and it rains on their crops. This technology can also be used and utilised to prevent rainfall in areas where it may be required. Climate control, okay. And the state owns 70% of AIB Bank, says this listener. For management to be dictating to the ownership, it can't be allowed. It would not fly in any other company. Why should it in the case whereby they nearly closed 70 of their branches from a cash perspective, okay? Right, keep them coming into us. We have to take a quick break. Our next guest on the way.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
Looking for the summer sporty look from the best brands like Nike, Adidas and Under Armour? Brian McCormick Sports and Leisure has your summer look. Nike Pro Tees and vest tops with matching shorts. Nike mid-layer quarter zips with women's tights in many different lengths. Under Armour t-shirts with matching bicycle length shorts, layered with new woven jackets and quarter zip tops. Look the part, play the part. In-store or online. Click and collect on bmcsports.ie.
Sheridan Security, now introducing zero-wire smart alarm systems. Zero wire, zero mess, and a real peace of mind. With a simple press of a button, your alarm can be set or unset, or download the free app and control it from your phone. Call us today on 074 912 6025 and get your alarm from €299. Stay local, stay safe, and protect what you value most with Sheridan Security Systems.
If you're thinking of changing your washing machine, consider the brilliant 8kg 1400 spin washer from Blomberg. Raymond Sweeney here at Ben Sweeney Euronics. If you often need laundry washed in a hurry, this brilliant washing machine will get your daily clothes clean and fresh in under 30 minutes, saving money on your energy bills and giving you back valuable time. It also comes with a 7-year parts and labour warranty for peace of mind. Call in to us and see for yourself. at Ben Sweeney Euronics, Port Road, Letterkenny, or in the shopping centre, Dunlow.
Are you ready for a role or a career with one of Ireland's leading food companies? Due to a further developed business base in Donegal, Glanbia are looking for milk agents to service shops, food service and door-to-door customers in the Letterkenny, Ramelton and Ballybuffet areas. To apply for this exciting role, forward your CV to pburns@glanbia.ie. That's pbyrnes@glanbia.ie or call 087 25 33054.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the programme. On to it, we welcome now Marjorie Carroll, manager of the Co-op on Tory Island. I beg your pardon. Marjorie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Greg.
Right, now you're expressing concern about the level of the medical staff on Tory. The nurse there that covers the islands on annual leave, no cover in place. And what's the reality of that situation? Is it as obvious as it might seem, or was there any recent instances that highlighted concerns even more so?
Well, at the moment, there's been no nurse on the island since Thursday, and the same thing happened back at Easter time. We were left for a week without a nurse. I understand there's a lack of nurses on the mainland due to illnesses and whatnot, and I understand that the lady in question who's looking after the rota on Tory, it's very frustrating for her because unfortunately she doesn't have anyone to send in. But I suppose reality on the island here, there was a few people who had to be taken off the island at the weekend. There's an awful vomiting bug on the island, and unfortunately there was a few people who had to be taken away on Saturday there, and they went to Letterkenny General Hospital where they were assessed, and they were, as far as I know, some of them were kept in and some were let out. But I suppose this is the busiest time of year for ourselves. There's quite a lot of people on the island. And I suppose now with this bug circulating, my own house is down with it. Every second house at the moment is down with it, so we are worried. But I suppose going forward, we're more worried for the winter season fast approaching. So we're calling on the HSE to please, address the situation. It's urgent now, because we don't want to be left without a nurse again for this to happen in the coming months.
Yeah, and for those living on the mainland, of course, even if they don't have can't get access to NowDoc or the GP for whatever reason, and you have to err on the side of caution when it comes to health, you can make your way to Letterkenny University Hospital. I presume, with a nurse on Tory, they can offer some medical assistance, some reassurance, make a medical call, and can rule out whether or not someone needs to go to LUH or not. I mean, it's a very different scenario living on an island, of course.
Of course, yeah. Myself, I was out on the mainland the weekend, and I was just thinking one of the children was sick on Saturday evening, and I thought, well, if this was happening, I was quite worried about her. So if this was happening on Tory Island at 2 o'clock in the morning, you'd be extremely worried, as most parents are at the minute, due to this bug that's circulating. And yeah, it's not like when I spoke to the HSE, they were saying, well, all you have to do is ring NowDoc, or it's just we were having the same problems on the mainland. Well, you're actually not having the same problems on the mainland because, as you said, you jump in your car and you're in Letterkenny in 45 minutes, no matter where in the county you are, really, So we're in a much difficult position here on Tory because, given if someone had a heart attack or something, the Coast Guard helicopter could be maybe in Sligo, or they could take maybe an hour and a half to get here, 2 hours. So we're, what are we supposed to do? I don't bear to think what would happen in a case like that. So, but, it is a situation and they need to look at it urgently.
Yeah. And it's annual leave this time. It could be maternity leave, depending on the person's gender. They could take a career change, whatever it might be. There should be contingency plans in place to cover all scenarios.
Of course, yeah, of course, and especially given that we're an island, we don't have a GP on the island. I know on Ironmore they have a GP there, so I suppose all islands are different. But the other thing as well, the Tory Island it's supposed to be a primary care centre. We have very, very little services being offered there as well. So I think, as well as the nursing situation, we need to look at the services that's been offered there as well. We weren't hardly getting any services there apart from the usual every fortnightly visit from the doctor and the nurse that's supposed to be here 24/7. So I think the whole centre needs to be looked at and the services that are provided there.
Yeah, and you're forewarned of someone's annual leave, so you would imagine some plans could be put in place to plug this gap. It's hard to imagine there isn't a single nurse available on the island of Ireland, well, not on the island of Ireland, but certainly in the Republic of Ireland, that this, with the will and organisation, that we shouldn't have had this gap.
No, that's it, exactly. Now, I understand everyone's entitled to their annual leave, and I understand the two of the nurses that are on the list for Tory, they're off on sick leave at the moment, so we're just in a very difficult position. But the same thing happened back in April, and there wasn't a contingency plan in place, and yet again now we are in July, and again it's happened, So I suppose, we're extremely frustrated, and I suppose more worried for the winter season approaching.
Yeah, and in terms of the people that had to travel to the mainland more recently, is it dependent on their illness? Were they able to travel via boat, or does the helicopter have to be called, or what's the situation there?
Well, basically what happened on Saturday was the Coast Guard were called.
Yeah.
Usually what happens is you need to ring your GP. That's what's on the message when you ring the nurse's phone. You ring your GP during the day, and then out of hours, then you ring the NowDoc. And then if that all fails, then you just ring 112. So, but what happened at the weekend there, I suppose they couldn't get through to the NowDoc. They couldn't get through. Obviously, it was the weekend. They couldn't get through to the doctor. So, and it wasn't an emergency, because the next thing that was done was the Coast Guard were called. And there's very little that they could do. And in fairness, they're doing great work, because it's voluntary work at the end of the day, and they are doing great work for us. But again, they're frustrated because it's very limited what they can do. And I suppose they don't want that responsibility to be left on them either, should anything happen,
Yeah, and it's not a great use of resources in the event of an emergency, at sea or elsewhere, where those people would be required, and they're doing a medical evac from the island. Not that that's not important, but, again, a nurse being on the island all of the time, even during the nurse's annual leave, it might prevent that happening. The nurse may well say, look, I'm not sure about this, I think you need to go to the hospital, but presumably they have the medical expertise to make a call and say, look, on the balance of things, here's what you can do on the island, and we'll see what you like in a couple of days.
Yeah, no, that's it, exactly. And the nurses that we do have when they're here, they're absolutely brilliant, I have to say, and they do great work for us, and we're very grateful for them. But it's an unfortunate situation we find ourselves in at the moment.
Okay. I don't know if there are places on the mainland that don't have this type of cover. I mean, is this something that maybe people might feel goes, it's par for the course if you live on an island? It shouldn't be like that, and I'm not saying that's the case, Marjorie, but I'm just wondering if the people that make these decisions, could that be the attitude either at the rear or to the fore of their mind?
Well, it certainly could be. It certainly looks like it. But we'll have to see now what's to happen going forward, because we did highlight this issue back in April when it happened, and then again now. So we are, I suppose, we kept quiet, I suppose, in April. We did explain we were very frustrated in that, but we're looking for answers now, and we can't let this happen again. Come winter season.
Yeah, and you talked about the serious cases, of course, like a heart attack or something, the life-threatening stuff. But also, if someone were to cut themselves accidentally, a cut that requires stitches, those type of things, to expect that person, when they should be able to get that seen to locally, to expect them to have to make their way from the island to the mainland and then on to the hospital, it's unfair. I don't think a lot of people would think that's the right way of doing things.
No, it's very unfair, and I suppose on Saturday the sea wasn't very nice at all. It was extremely rough. And there was children having to go on to the boat, being very, very sick anyway, and then having to go and make that journey across to Maharorty. It wasn't quite right.
No, I was thinking.
Sunday, so.
I was thinking that, and I didn't want to say it, but that's if you've already got a vomiting bug, you're on a boat, and it affects you in all manner of ways. So how long as it stands, if everything goes to plan, would you be without a nurse during this spell before the annual leave is over?
Well, the annual leave is, my understanding is that it's 6 weeks. Now, I did speak to the HSE yesterday, and they were hopeful that they would have someone on the island by Friday. Again, they couldn't guarantee that, but they said that they were very hopeful, so that they would get back to us probably Wednesday, Thursday, just to let us know, to update us on that.
Okay, and what are your fears then for the winter? In other words, what possibly could happen, and what plans do you believe need to be put in place?
Well, I suppose we would hope that they would have maybe a third person that they can call on, and I think that would rectify the situation, so that they would have, they do have two, and unfortunately both are out sick. But if they have to go and look at the whole situation on Tory again, and now's the time to do it, so that because everything takes time, and they need to address that now, so that we have a nurse in place come September, October time.
Yeah, because there was notice of this annual leave. Obviously, there was no notice of the two other nurses becoming sick, but we also know what could be ahead of us in the winter. And I think, in fairness, you're highlighting this in July, which gives people plenty of time to plan for a lead in. And I think that's very fair, Marjorie. And I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Is it busy on the island, particularly this year, or what's the crack, so to speak, other than people being sick?
It was quiet at the beginning of July, but the past couple of weeks now, it's picked up. The weather hasn't been great this season. It's been very rough, I have to say, even for ourselves. It's been rough. So it's been slow this year, but it has picked up now, and we're hopeful that August we'll get some better weather and we'll get the tourists in. But it has been slow this year, but I think it's like that all round. But we're hopeful now for a good August.
Really, still embarrassed to say I haven't been to Tory Island. It's embarrassing, but anyway,
I will do it. Now.
Is that an invite?
Yes, of course, anytime.
All right, Marjorie, listen, thanks for joining us, and I hope it gets sorted. And stay in touch with us in case there's anything we can do to help, and we'll make inquiries with the HSE as well, and hopefully that helps in putting the pressure on. But we appreciate it, and have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye. A caller says Tory Island should have a nurse and a doctor the same as the mainland. Do you agree? 08660 25,000. More of your comments here. This is the rising cost of living only on milk, and milk is a staple. And it's one of the things going up in price that we can notice straight off. This caller says a litre and a half of milk has gone from $1.45 to $2.09 in my local shop. 5 miles down the road, another shop, it's $1.65. Now, the shopkeeper themselves can make a call on it. We've seen it with potatoes and other sort of regular stuff, that they might sell that kind of stuff cheaper with a view to people coming in to the shop in greater numbers and spending money elsewhere in the store. That is possible. But the price of milk is going up, and it's something we generate here on this island. It's international factors really shouldn't have as much of an impact on the price of milk here as it seems they are. Thank you, Greg, for your support for older people. I wished these people would take a course in how to address older people. Coming in from Mary. Yes, indeed, Mary. None of us would be here if it weren't for older people. And if you're lucky and if you're spared, we will become those older people ourselves, and we have to think on how we'd like to be addressed or treated. Greg, did you ever hear the likes of it? There'll be a queue up for the people wanting to get into prison from now on. Better life in than out. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it, Mary? That between TVs in every cell, phones in every cell, 20 million a year being spent on tuck shops. That's, I mean, obviously, really the only thing you're losing out on your liberty. Everything else is there. It's luxury. How many of you out there have a TV in your bedroom, a full Sky Sports package, and access to such a well-resourced tuck shop on your doorstep, cigarettes and absolutely everything? No water since 8 a.m. yesterday morning in the Listillian area. There's no sign that it will come back on, and there was no notification. It's now been 25 hours and we're stuck without water now. Has anyone else had this? Well, I believe that probably is linked to that outage yesterday. I'm not fantastic on geography, but Irish Water yesterday said that they were investigating reports of supply disruptions to Letterkenny and the surrounds, and they said more information to follow. Well, guess what? 23 hours later, no more information. So we're a wee bit hamstrung as to what we can do. We'll make our inquiries. By the way, the Irish Water are currently investigating reports of a supply disruption to Dubala and surrounds. So if you're in the Dubala and surrounding areas and your water's off, there is a fault. Irish Water say they're investigating that. But other than that, it's very hard for us to get follow-up information as much as we try for you.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering mortgages from €40,000 to €600,000 with no hidden fees or transaction charges. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
Give your vegetables the best start possible with Veggie Mix from Gortley Sales and Hire. Veggie Mix is weed-free for 3 years and is perfect in a raised bed, polytunnel or to improve your soil. Veggie Mix at Gortley Sales and Hire, Letterkenny.
Lingering sunsets in Spain, captivating coastlines in Croatia, dinner overlooking Lake Como. It's time to stop dreaming and start doing. Let us guide you to your dream destination. Just show up, suitcase in hand, and we'll take care of everything. Flights, accommodation, excursions, expert local guides, and all that planning. Secure your spot now on a guided group tour with deposits from €100. See traveldepartment.com. Irish owned and operated for over 25 years. Travel Department. Let's see more.
Are you tired of waiting for treatment or surgery? Did you know you can receive immediate treatment across the border under the new NI planned healthcare scheme at potentially no cost? Donegal patients are still being treated with us at Kingsbridge Private Hospital Northwest post-Brexit. The process is easy and our dedicated team will help guide you through it. So why wait? Contact us today to find out how you can skip the waiting lists and receive treatment in Northern Ireland. Visit kingsbridgeprivatehospital.com, because life matters.
It's time to upgrade. Remember, when upgrading, even a few years, you're looking at better fuel efficiency and enhanced safety features. With the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles available in Donegal, at iMotors, we are confident we have your next car. All of our cars come with up to 12-month warranty. Call into us in Letterkenny or Malin, or check out imotors.ie.
Come along to the Glencolmkill Agricultural Show this Sunday, July 31st, featuring cattle, sheep, horses, dogs, poultry, and a full marquee with home baking, vegetables, arts and crafts, photography, and children's sections. A fun day out for all the family with live music by Ewan McIntyre and the Minor Tones. See you this Sunday at the Glencolmkill Agricultural Show.
All right, Phil joins us now in the programme. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so tell us about the situation at the mobile bank unit in Ballybofey. Firstly, which bank is it? Where does it park, and what do you access it for?
Okay, it's a new mobile bank that's been operated by Permanent TSB. It's coming there now on a Monday to facilitate people to open their new accounts, and it's been open just to deal with the volume of people that are contacting their Letterkenny and Donegal branches and that. So it's operating over the county, but it's a Monday in Ballybofey, and it would be parked just directly outside the Ulster Bank on the main street every Monday between 10 and 4.
And it's designed for people who wish to switch accounts out of Ulster or wherever, you can go and discuss your business with a person in this mobile unit.
Yeah, and there's no appointment necessary. You go along, you go at your own choice, and you queue, and you go in and you make. And we did that a few weeks ago, and we got in and opened our account very, very efficient and all of that, and no problem at all. We went back yesterday with follow-up information, and we could see a number of people standing out, and there was no bank van there. So we inquired inside in the Ulster Bank, and I must say they were very helpful in that. The van had been there earlier in the morning. Now, this is just around 10 o'clock. The van had been there earlier in the morning and had left, and the girl didn't know whether they'd be coming back or not, but they would let me know if they were. So we queued out, and eventually, there was a little queue forming. There was maybe 8 people, and people came and left. And the longer you stand, the more you think, yeah, the van will come back. But anyway, I tried to ring TSB in Letterkenny, and it just puts you through to this call centre, like their 24 online centre. Somebody came along and said then that a TSB employee would be inside the bank at 11. So we kind of waited on. I think what distressed me when I came home and thought about it was like there was elderly people standing there. We were out on the main street, and the rain thankfully didn't come. It threatened a few times, but it didn't. But when I went back inside about 10 to 11, they still had no information inside, and the employee that normally would be there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday hadn't turned up either, and they still had no information. And I have to say this: it had nothing to do with Ulster Bank. They were just obliging us by trying to find out, where the bank was. They were very helpful, actually.
So the mobile bank had went missing, really, had it? Like no one knew where it was?
Yeah.
It turned up, then took off?
Yeah, and actually the traffic warden came down at one stage, and it was quite jovial where we were standing about, and I said, "You didn't happen to see the mobile bank up the street or anything?" And he said, "No, I haven't seen it this morning at all." But it just, we were standing there waiting, and eventually, as say about 11 o'clock, we sort of all decided that he's definitely not coming back today. So as I said, we couldn't get any information, and it's not, for me, I'm local, I can pop back down, next Monday's the bank holiday, I can try and get appointments or whatever, but it's for people that are elderly, standing out, people travelling into town, one there and maybe thinking I'll get the bank this morning, and it's just, I just think it's very disrespectful to the public that there was no information. It's not on their website that they wouldn't be there, that they had to leave, and we've had nothing from, even, we just don't know. Hopefully it'll be back in 2 weeks.
So following your first visit there, did they say to you, the bank staff at TSB in this mobile unit, did they say, right, get your information together, we'll be back here every Monday for the foreseeable, just turn up, there's no need for an appointment, we'll be here from such a time to such a time? Was that information given to you when you first met with them, Phil?
Yeah, when I went in, and as I say, very professional young man, and that we actually got our account open.
Yeah.
But then we had to wait for the cards to come and all of that. And then we were literally going back in just to do the switch, to identify a date in the future, suitable for us to switch our bank account, from Ulster.
Yeah.
And it's every Monday. I actually checked even last night. I went around every county on their website. It's operating all over the country. And it does say, and I will say, it says on the top, it may vary. But in the counties where it had varied, there was a notification, it said will not be available on a certain date or whatever. But for Donegal, there was nothing. And it's scheduled in Donegal town today, Tuesday and Wednesday. So whether it's there or not, I don't know.
Right. Anyone in Donegal town, have you seen this missing TSB mobile unit last seen for 5 minutes in Ballybofey?
There's no money on it, by the way.
Right, okay.
There's no money on it, sorry.
Does it made you regret your decision to switch your business to TSB, I wonder?
Well, as I say, when I came back, and there was a comment on after the lady talked about the switching pack, the information on the switching pack, and somebody had texted in to say they had a difficulty with their direct debits. So it has made me a bit wary now, to be honest. Yeah. But sure what, we'll have to go with somebody, and we have the accounts opened and all now. So, and I know you can do a lot of this online. I know that. I probably could do it, but for some of us, it's just you feel a bit more confident.
Well, Phil, I know people
dealing with somebody.
Yeah, I know people across age groups that want to speak to somebody because they want to see, is there an advantage to this, that, and the other. They don't necessarily pick up the various types of accounts from text clearly. They want someone to speak it to them. And they're talking about this is where their money's going to go. So I think that's not unreasonable. And I think it's really fair, Phil, of you. You're a serial bank account opener, according to the notes I have in front of me. It's not your first rodeo. You could do it online. But you're thinking of maybe people that had to travel into Ballybofey, older people standing around, those more anxious about the process. And, you're speaking more for them, I think, than yourself today, Phil.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong. And I know everything's online. I know there's information packs, there's everything. But I honestly, God rest, if my parents were here, there's no way they would negotiate this. Absolutely no way without dealing with a relative or a daughter, one of us or whatever. And particularly elderly people, they're very, very confidential about their business and especially their money. And, and when they go to the bank, they feel they're dealing with somebody professionally and they can deal with their queries, and all their business is confidential and the family don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Nobody knows about their business and their money.
Well,
so
private people.
I just think the whole thing is,
I think and this is the basic stuff that if I spoke to a few customers, they would actually get, because it's common sense stuff. It's how we all feel, but they don't seem to get that. Right? Okay. Well, it's not next Monday. It'll be the Monday afterwards anyway, Phil.
Hopefully we'll be all queued out again.
Well, listen, get there at 9 o'clock next Monday week.
That's what I'll do.
Listen, Phil,
All
lovely
the
to
best,
chat to you.
Greg, and
Take
thanks.
care. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks.
And I hope things goes well with you at the new bank, 08660 25,000. Right. Let's see here now. We'll go on to our next texts. I read that one on the Listillian Water. Was told by the permanent TSB rep in the Ulster Bank last Thursday to come back Monday as there was a problem with the app. Went in yesterday at 12:15. Nobody there. So we're being told to be proactive. To not. We spoke to a lady yesterday. Start switching. You need to switch. Make sure you do. You need plenty of time. And this is the kind of problems people are encountering. Micheál Martin and Leo Varadkar, yesterday's men, robbing the country dry before the country runs dry of money. Plain and simple, believes this caller. Then the next party, they'll blame them going into government. The people of this country should open up their eyes big time to this. Stop Sinn Féin because they will expose the corruption that went on behind the people's back in health, education, so on and so forth. I look forward to that all coming to pass if it is the case. My son had to attend NowDoc last night, having been treated. He was asked how he wanted to pay. When he said card, he was told the treatment was €50 for cash or 60 by card. I'm just wondering, is this the norm, considering we're asked to use cards wherever possible? Is there a difference in the cost of seeing NowDoc dependent on whether you have cash or card? Let us know. 08660 25,000. Greg, does anyone out there know where the salt caves that used to be in Scally Place in Letterkenny have moved to? I and other people I know have gift vouchers for them. The last time I was in contact with them, I was told they were valid for 5 years. I don't know where they've gone, but they still advertise their opening hours on the website. Would appreciate any information. Where are salt caves? I'm not familiar with that. I presume it's a company, is it? Where are they now located? Asks that caller. If you have an answer, 08660 25,000. This texter said, my experience of the accommodation crisis relates directly to my son, a young 25-year-old professional whose landlord is selling up, and indirectly my 18-year-old daughter who attends ATU. Her young student colleagues from outside the county have lost the accommodation they had last year and now have nowhere to stay next semester. My son's landlady has been very patient as he searches. However, the lack of affordable places is hindering his search. His maximum budget is €850 per month for a half-bedroom place. This, however, is proving to be a small budget according to places we've seen. It's very worrying to think that these young people on whom we rely to become the future of our country are being neglected by our local and national authorities. My son is in the fortunate position where he works remotely and therefore is not restricted to one area. However, his choice of location is being negated by the lack of availability in his local area. His budget, €850 per month, according to some of the students we've been speaking to. That's what's almost required for student accommodation in Letterkenny. We spoke to one young person. I think their first year was 70. Their second year was 100 and their third year was 130. That's how much they were being asked if they could get hold of it. Now, I know that's just shy of 850, but that's where the market seemingly is going. And I do worry where those wishing to attend the all-new ATU, where they're actually going to stay, because last year we were talking to people staying in hotels, sleeping in cars, couch surfing. You wonder, is it going to be worse this year? If you have any insight into that or any opinion on that, you know the text number. It's 086 60 25,000, 086 60 25,000. Greg, can a traffic warden write tickets up for not having your tax when the vehicle is parked in a non-pay and display area? My understanding is they can. I think that's part of their remit. I don't think it really matters where the car is parked. If it's parked in public, if they spot your tax out of date, even if it's not in a ticketed area, my understanding is they can still write a ticket for that. Let us know. 086 60 25,000, 086 60 25,000 if I'm wrong. Hi Greg, great show. Thank you. Really appreciate that, by the way. Not because it makes me feel any better. It just means that we're hopefully getting it right for you. I paid €60 cash to see NowDoc in my area. Okay, €60 in cash. So another person talking about €50 cash, 60 on card, but that person's experience was very different. Right, it is Tuesday. Coming up on this programme after 11 o'clock, amongst other things, we will be, the Mary from Dunlow Festival's ongoing at the moment. And we'll have the winning Mary in studio. I don't know who it's going to be. We don't know who it's going to be. But if you want to meet them, if you want to see them, get onto our website, highlandradio.com. You can watch all of the programme every day here. No one else does it. maybe for good reason. But we know 4 million minutes are viewed every 6 months on 2 million minute views live every 3 months. So lots and lots of you engaging right across all the platforms. So we're reaching all of you who watch 2 million minute views every 3 months. I think that's pretty good, isn't it? And you can watch the show every day here, and you can also watch as we chat to the Marys after 11. That and so much more besides. Stay with us. We're going to take a break now for the news and obituary notices with Michaela. Don't go anywhere.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
Want unbeatable value from Sky? Here's the deal. Get Sky Broadband for just €29 a month, plus Sky Q for only €10 a month. Super fast, super reliable broadband. And Sky Q with your apps and recordings. That's Sky Broadband for €29 a month, plus Sky Q for €10 a month for 12 months. Now that is unbeatable value. Go to sky.ie. Availability subject to location. Offer does not include Sky TV subscription. New Sky customers only. Setup fees, minimum term and further terms apply. For more info, see sky.ie/speeds.
Inishowen Credit Union has recently launched Cultivate, an agricultural loan at only 6.55%, APR 6.75%. Call any of their 4 offices for more information or to make an appointment. Inishowen Credit Union, Buncrana, Carndona, Moville and Muff, supporting local farmers. Inishowen Credit Union is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Get amazing discounts on all your home essentials in the Foy & Company Summer Sale. Revamp your interiors for less with up to 50% off selected lines across all departments. There's great value in the furniture department with offers on bedroom, living room and dining room furniture. Chat with our interior design and colour experts to find out how you can make over your home on a budget with the Foy & Company Summer Sale. Online and in store in Letterkenny and Ballybuffet. While stocks last.
Don't miss the 53rd Clonmany Festival open air concerts, including Nathan Carter on Thursday the 4th of August, and on Friday the 5th of August it's Robert Mazzell and his band. Don't miss these and many more open air concerts at this year's Clonmany Festival. See clonmanyfestival.com. This ad is sponsored by Joyce's Centre Clonmany.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, I'm Michaela Clark with the news at 10 o'clock. Tributes are being paid today to one of the principal architects of the Good Friday Agreement who has died at the age of 77. The former First Minister of Northern Ireland, David Trimble, passed away peacefully yesterday following a short illness. The Nobel Peace Prize winner was a former leader of the Ulster Unionist Party and served as First Minister from 1998 to 2002. Former Taoiseach and Fianna Fáil leader Bertie Ahern believes history will remember him for his bravery.
I think it'll remember him as a politician who, in a really difficult time when we were trying to end 30 years of violence, in spite of everything, stood up, put his name to that agreement and allowed us bring peace.
Concern has been raised over the level of medical care being provided on Tory Island. The nurse stationed on the island has been on annual leave since Thursday, and residents were without medical provision for a week at Easter also. A number of people had to be transferred to Letterkenny University Hospital on Saturday after becoming unwell. Marjorie O'Carroll, manager of Core Common Tory, is calling on the HSE to step in.
We are worried, but I suppose going forward we're more worried for the winter season fast approaching. So we're calling on the HSE to please, address the situation. It's urgent now, because we don't want to be left with that in our skin for this to happen in the coming months.
Officials at Leinster House are considering introducing a second Dáil chamber. The Concorla is consulting with political party leaders on the proposal, which it's hoped it would make politics more family friendly. It would see Oireachtas business held in both chambers at the same time, so proceedings could finish at 7 or 8 p.m. rather than midnight or later. But Fine Gael Senator Jerry Bottomere says there are other options that could be examined.
I think we'd all welcome a family-friendly parliament. There was a committee established by the Concorla to look at that. Certainly there's a need to look at how we do our business both in the upper house and lower house in terms of the utilisation of time. I'm not sure that a second chamber is the answer. I think we should look at things also like the plenary week for committees, have maybe a plenary week and then a committee week so that we can do things differently.
There's calls for immediate action to mitigate against the reoccurrence of flooding in Strabane. Damage was caused to homes and businesses across the town on Saturday, many in areas previously affected. In particular, the Ballycolman estate, where short-term flood alleviation works have been approved but have yet to be carried out. Councillor Michaela Boyle says urgent action is needed.
The number of families in the state that were badly flooded, this is ongoing for quite a number of years. Solution has been found, but the risk is greater. We need to ensure that these houses are no longer flooded again and that the water is diverted away from these homes when this happens.
A midsummer road safety appeal has been launched in Donegal today. Ahead of the bank holiday weekend, the RSA and Garda Síochána, along with the Minister of State at the Department of Transport, Hildegard Naughton, are rolling out the initiative at the Atlantic Technological University's Letterkenny campus. To date this year, 88 people have been killed on the roads, an increase of 28 compared to last year. Speaking to Highland Radio News, Assistant Garda Commissioner Paula Hillman highlighted the importance of road safety.
What a better place to be than the beautiful county of Donegal. But behind that is that really serious message, and we know that 5 people have sadly lost their lives in County Donegal this year to date. And you know, while we talk about those figures, we never lose sight that that's an empty seat at someone's table. This is someone's family member, friends, members of the community, and the devastating impact that has. So yes, we wanted to come out to Donegal to help spread that message of road safety.
Weather now today will be partly cloudy and dry, apart from isolated light showers. Highest temperatures of 15 to 17 degrees. That's all from Highland Radio News for now. We'll be back with an update again at 11 o'clock. Until then, good morning. The obituary notices for this Tuesday morning, July the 26th. The death has occurred of Danny Gillespie, Altskane Road, St Johnston. His remains are reposing at his late residence. Funeral from there tomorrow morning at 10:30, going to St Bathan's Church, St Johnston, for 11 o'clock requiem mass with burial afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu of desired to St Johnston and Carrigan's Family Resource Centre, care of any family member or Kelly's funeral directors. The death has taken place of Patricia Patsy Gill, née Logue, Woodley, Reading, England, formerly of Malin, County Donegal. A service for Patricia will take place in Lag Chapel on Tuesday, August the 2nd at 11 o'clock, with interment of her ashes immediately afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. The death has occurred of Hilary McHugh, 83, Hillview Park, Castlederg. Funeral from the family home this morning at 11:20 for requiem mass at 12 noon in St Patrick's Church, Castlederg. Interment afterwards in the adjoining churchyard. The mass can be viewed via the parish webcam. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu of desire to cancer research, care of Charles Lynch, funeral director. The death has taken place of Patsy Mulvey Hill, Ballyhearan, Kilmacrennan. Requiem mass this morning at 11 o'clock in St Columbus Church, Kilmacrennan. Funeral mass can be viewed on churchservices.tv. Burial afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Family flowers only. Donations if desired to the Donegal Hospice, care of any family member. The death has taken place of Mary Logue, née Bradley, Letcher Hillieu, Cloughan, County Donegal. Funeral mass at 11 o'clock this morning in the Church of Our Lady of Perpetual Succour, Glenfin, with burial afterwards in Kilty Vogue Cemetery. The funeral mass can be viewed live on MCN Media. Family flowers only, please. Donations if desired to the Cloughan Daycare Centre, care of any family member. The death has taken place of Tony McGonigal, Carrick, Carnagarv, Moville. Funeral mass will take place this morning at 11 o'clock in St Pius X Church, Moville, followed by burial in Ballybrack Cemetery. Funeral mass can be viewed live on movilleparish.com. Family time, please, from 11 o'clock tonight and before the funeral tomorrow. Family flowers only. Donations in lieu to Art Evie Carndunna, care of any family member. And the death has occurred of Annie Callahan, née Sweeney, Main Street, Killygordon. Funeral leaving from there this morning at 10:30 for requiem mass in St Patrick's Church, Crossroads, Killygordon at 11 o'clock. Interment afterwards in the adjoining churchyard. The Requiem Mass will be streamed live on the St Patrick's Church Crossroads Killygordon Facebook page. Donations in lieu of flowers, if so desired, to the Patients Comfort Fund, Barnesview Ward, St Joseph's Community Hospital, Stranorder, care of any family member. For more details, including any family health guidelines for wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
Can I get 2 specials, please? 1 sourdough and Caesar salad. And by the way, I'm 12 weeks pregnant.
Yes, Chef. We don't always know who's at risk from COVID-19 and other viruses, but we do know how to protect them. Keep hands clean and wear a mask. Let fresh air in, get vaccinated, and stay at home if you are unwell. From the HSE. For us all.
Okay, coming up very shortly, Garda Sergeant Charlene Anderson will be joining us for the Community Garda information item. Stay tuned for that. A number of instances that they are seeking your assistance in crimes that which they hope to solve. Just a couple of your comments before we go to the bingo numbers. Greg, where have all the bees gone? I go for lovely walks throughout the county, and this year I'm concerned as I'm not hearing the usual buzzing of the bees working hard to pollinate the flowers on bushes. How many of your listeners have seen a wasp this year? I haven't seen any. Please, Greg, can you get someone from the scientific world on to explain what's happening with the huge reduction in the bee population this year? Well, we'll certainly try and do that for you. I think you're correct in talking about wasps. There was 1 or 2 days, I think it was early this month or late last month, where the weather got really mild and there was flies everywhere, and I saw wasps, and then they disappeared. I didn't see many bees. I haven't seen many bees. I don't know what the story is. Anyone out there with an insight? 08660 25,000. We'll try and see if we can come up with answers for you as well. Hi, Greg. PTSB are the only bank that are not utilising the post office. You have to go to the branch to get anything done. Good luck with their online offering too. It regularly cuts you off mid-processing. That comes in from Liam. Not a satisfied customer. Last one before that break I talked of. Hi, a week question, please. I put in my medical expenses recently and I should be receiving over €1,000. I'm currently on illness benefits, so every penny I can get is desperately needed. I've just received an email stating that they are taking over 900 of the tax. I'm assuming because of the pandemic payment. My question is, can they do this, or can I dispute it and pay back what's owed over a few years, either through my employment tax or husband's employment tax? Now, that's a specific inquiry. Is this the beginning of the clawback of those payments that many of us received at that time? I'm not quite sure. But we will see if any of our listeners can help. Okay. As I mentioned, Community Garda information item on the way after the bingo numbers and a short break. Stay where you are.
It's time for NCBI Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Tuesday, July 26th. You're playing on a brown coloured sheet. The reference number is S7. It's game number 30. The numbers are 79. The number 2. 44. 35. 30. 41. 58. 54. 67. And 43. Phone your claim to 9104833 before 8 p.m. tonight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book. Get all your NCBI Radio Bingo information at highlandradio.com.
Beat the cost of Brexit with no customs charges. Do you need a UK address for your limited company or personal use? Space Hub in Derry can provide you with your own mailbox. Have your post and parcels delivered to Space Hub and collect at your convenience. There's brand new 20-foot shipping containers now in stock, ideal for all your storage needs at our Springtown and Coolmore depots. Find us on Facebook at spacehubderry.com or call 04871 878077 for more details.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why. The Euromillions Jackpot is an estimated €25 million. Play responsibly, in-store, in-app or at lottery.ie. The National Lottery. It could be you.
Is your current car ready for change? If so, now is a good time to visit DMG Motors Donegal Town. Choose from their Skoda range including the Fabia, Scala, Superb, Karoq, Kodiaq, Kamiq, Octavia and the all-new electric Enyaq. Now available for delivery. All fitted with the latest technology, Skoda Connect, with a whole new range of simply clever features. DMG Motors have made buying a new car affordable with finance available on all new vehicles. Test drive the new Skoda today. Call 97213996. Skoda, made for Donegal.
Are you looking to make a bigger impact at work? Join the team at Optum in Letterkenny, where we're collecting the brightest people, places and ideas to create better healthcare. As one of our claims or appeals representatives, you'll make a meaningful difference, providing first-class customer service and support. Come to our virtual hiring event on August the 3rd to take the next steps in a career with Optum. Register today at uhg.hr/event. That's uhg.hr/event.
MobiBlast, mobile sandblasting covering Donegal, Derry and Tyrone. Marine sandblasting, automotive and machinery. Also stone cleaning, wood sandblasting, graffiti and paint removal. Suitable for most surface restorations. See MobiBlast Ireland on Facebook and Instagram. MobiBlast, extending the life of your investments.
The Community Garda information slot is brought to you by Sheridan Security Systems, protecting what you value most. Call today and get your zero-wire alarm system from €299. Sheridan Security, 91-26025.
Good morning. It is Tuesday the 26th of July and it's time for another edition of the Community Garda information item, and we welcome into studio today Garda Sergeant Charlene Anderson. Good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, good to be here, Greg.
Right, okay. We have some security advice and we'll talk about the August bank holiday weekend in a moment, but first we'll start with the appeals as it relates to crimes across the region, and Gardaí investigating an assault at Longbray in Castlefin.
That's correct, Greg. So Gardaí and Letterkenny are appealing this morning for witnesses to an alleged assault that occurred at Longbray in Castlefin between Sunday the 24th of July at 11:50pm and Monday the 25th of July at 12:10am. Now, one man was hospitalised for his injuries as a result of this incident. He currently remains in hospital, but thankfully his injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. So we're just appealing to anyone who may have travelled on the Longbray Road between those times and who may have dashcam footage to make that footage available to us, or indeed if anyone observed the altercation, to contact Gardaí in Letterkenny on 9167100.
Okay, now looking for the public's assistance as it relates to a road traffic collision in Inishowen.
That's correct. So Gardaí and Buncrana are investigating a road traffic collision that occurred at Marabeg, Burnfoot, and this occurred on Sunday the 24th of July at approximately 2:45pm. Now, in this incident, a grey Volkswagen Golf, partial reg, YNZ, had struck a tree and was stuck in a ditch. Now, nobody was at the scene when Gardaí arrived, but it was reported later that two males and a female had fled the scene on foot following the collision. Now, the car is believed to have been travelling from Burnfoot village in the direction of Causeway, Inch Island, when the collision occurred. So once again, if anybody witnessed this collision, we'd ask them to contact Gardaí. And again, as with a lot of these appeals, we'd ask if anyone has dashcam footage to make that available to us. So the number for Buncrana is 93200540.
Okay, staying in Buncrana and a criminal damage incident.
That's correct. So we're also appealing for information in relation to a criminal damage incident. Now, this incident occurred at Park Nihilon in Buncrana between July 11th and July 16th. So the resident of the property, she was away for a number of days, and when she returned home, the glass on the back door had been smashed. No entry was gained to the property. But once again, the appeal this morning is for maybe residents in the area. If they've seen or heard anything suspicious in around that period from the 11th of July to the 16th of July, or indeed if they have any relevant information in relation to the incident, we'd ask them to contact us in Buncrana on 93200540.
Okay, now down to Stranraer, theft from a car.
Yes, Greg. So this is one, there's a number of these kind of incidents over the last number of weeks. I'll deal with the first one. So the first one relates to an incident of theft from a car which was parked in the car park at St Mary's Church, Stranraer. Now this occurred on Saturday the 23rd of July. Between 1pm and 3pm. A wedding was taking place in the church at the time, and one of the guests had parked their vehicles in the car park. So they returned to their car and made their way to the wedding reception, only to discover that their wallet, which contained cash and bank cards, the wedding card and a cash gift, had been stolen from the vehicle. whilst it was parked in the car park. Now, there was no damage caused to the vehicle. So we're just appealing to anyone who may have been in the area, who may have observed maybe anyone acting suspiciously in around the grounds of St Mary's Church on Saturday, July 23rd, between 1 and 3 p.m. to contact Gardaí in Letterkenny, and it's 9167 100.
And this is one of those ones whereby I think we've all done it. You know, we've all heard the appeals, but we all let our guard down. Particularly at this time of year or any time of the year, it's just to double check there's nothing on show in the car.
Absolutely. And I suppose the biggest thing in all of these is to make sure that your vehicle is locked.
Yeah.
You know, just to make sure, I know a lot of people now have the automatic locking system, they press the button and they assume, but we would ask people just to double check, pull the handle on the door, make sure the vehicle is actually locked. And that's a big thing in a number of these incidents.
And in this day and age too, because the car indicates if you've locked it, if someone wanted to be observing a car park full of cars, 20 cars, they will probably see the one or two that the person's just walked off, that they haven't locked it, because it's quite evident if the person has or not.
Absolutely. And I suppose, look, a lot of these incidents or a lot of these crimes are opportunistic crimes. People will be they'll be scouting about the place, they will be seeing what's going on, watching out for this type of thing, and we just ask people to be vigilant. And I know, look, people has a lot going on, maybe they were rushing in this incident, the person could have been rushing into the church, it could have been maybe chatting to somebody, but we would ask that they would just check that their vehicles are locked.
I think a lot of it is, and I'm almost speaking from experience, we think it's not going to happen to us.
Of course.
I think it's not necessarily, it's not that I'd walk off and forget to lock the car. I think sometimes it's a subconscious decision, but it's not going to happen. The car's just parked here. Sure, someone would see. It's not, you know what I mean? And I think it's maybe some of us are more trusting than we should be, rather than being forgetful, because I have to remind myself.
Yeah, and particularly at home, I think we do let our guard down as well. You drive in as far as your driveway or back, to at the side of your house or whatever. You jump out of your car, you go into your house, and you just assume you're at home, you're in a safe space. But cars are broken into all the time. And a lot of it is because the vehicles are being left unlocked, and somebody comes along and they see an opportunity to take advantage of that opportunity. So we just ask people just to be mindful, that's all, and just to ensure, and that's a big one, first of all, that their vehicles are in fact locked when they're leaving them.
Okay, now trespass and car theft in the Stranola area. You haven't mentioned this yet, have you?
No, so just in the early hours of Saturday morning, again the 23rd of July, a couple of cars in the driveway of a house in Dunwiley were interfered with. Now, neither of the cars were stolen, but some contents of one of the cars were thrown onto the driveway of the house. So between 10 p.m. on Friday the 22nd of July and 9 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of July, a car was stolen from a different property in the Dunwiley area. Now, the car was a grey Renault Megane partial reg 01DL, but this car was later recovered at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd of July in Stratheven in Stranola. So we're just appealing for anybody who may have seen the grey Renault Megane 01DL being driven between the areas of Dunwiley and Stratheven on those dates to contact Gardaí in Letterkenny, who's investigating this particular incident, and that's 9167 100.
So I don't want to amplify it or worry people. Is this almost like a spate of these type of crimes? Is this something that we need to pay particular attention to?
Well, these particular incidents all happened in around the one date. Yeah. So we're just asking people to be vigilant, just to ensure that they lock their vehicle. I suppose that's the big advice that we're given this morning, regardless of whether it's parked in their driveway or indeed a public place, and to store their keys away as well in the house, that they're not left on show, maybe sitting at a window and the window open. And I suppose, look, never leave the key of your car either at your, under your tyres, or that sometimes people would just leave it there, but I suppose usually places like that criminals would be aware of.
Yeah, they know all the hot spots. It's like hiding cash in the kitchen. Yeah. They go straight to the cookie jar or whatever it might be. I don't know if that's where I don't have cash to hide.
Where your money is, Greg? Is
well, there's not even. I tell you, there's not even cookies in the cookie jar.
We won't be going for tea, so no cookies in the cookie jar.
No, but yes. We are creatures of habit, and we think, oh, I've got a good idea. Well, everyone else has had that good idea, and I'm not in any way praising them, but a lot of the people that do these type of crimes, they're professional at what they do. In other words, they know what to do and where we hide things and stuff, and we just have to keep our guard up.
And that's it. And especially to valuables, as you mentioned earlier, just don't leave valuables on show. Again, if you do have something valuable in the car, like a laptop, phones, anything like that, if you could, put it in the boot somewhere there where it's not visible, because again, as I said, a lot of these crimes are just opportunistic crimes, and people will be watching what's going on. They'll see an opportunity and they'll just go for it. And always then, I suppose, where possible, it's not always possible, but just to park in a secure, well-lit area or location. And if it's a thing that you do see somebody, mooching around a car park or that, maybe just report it to Gardaí. Because if you think that it's suspicious, we'd like to know about it. And then if something happens, we can join the dots,
And if there's nothing to it, there's nothing to it. No time has been wasted. Because I think people might be inclined to sort of, triage their points of view, whether or not should I bother Gardaí with this. And time again during this item, the information is if you spot something, contact your local station, because either a patrol car can do a scout or it forms part of, a subsequent investigation, and it's information that's useful, whatever it might be, because you're protecting your community, really.
Absolutely, yeah. And particularly when a number of incidents happen in the one area, somebody might have seen somebody maybe give it the description of that person walking in a general direction. Maybe they felt it was suspicious at the time, and then that could follow on to, as I said, us joining the dots and decide or establishing that this person was involved in a certain incident.
Okay, now we are heading into the August bank holiday weekend, and we do know it's this bank holiday weekend. It's a lot of bank holiday weekends that we can see a spike in. The number of people dying on our roads, but unfortunately we don't want anyone to die on our roads. We are seeing the number climb every single week, seemingly. We had an awful period of 4 lives being lost in just a couple of days recently. This is all within our power, Charlene, to do something about out on the roads, isn't it? I mean, we can make a difference here if we just follow the basic advice. A lot of these deaths, the majority of these deaths, are avoidable. I'm not attributing any blame to anyone who's passed away, but a lot of these very sad deaths are avoidable.
Absolutely. And again, look, this weekend Gardaí and the RSA will be focusing on lifesaver offences. We'll be asking people to slow down, don't drink, take drugs and drive. Wear your seatbelt and encourage your passengers, make sure that they're wearing their seatbelts. And I suppose this morning there is a launch of 61. As you said, 161 new safety cameras. They'll become operational nationwide today, and we have 3 of those in Donegal, so people can log on to the Garda website and they can get the exact GPS coordinates for where they're going to be.
And what is the logic of making that information public? I know this has been talked about before, Charlene, but some listening might go, well, if you want to reduce speed, you want to catch people and hit them in the pocket and the points, and we're seeing work being done on increasing those penalties at the moment. So what do you see the logic of advertising in advance where these speed cameras are?
Well, I suppose the whole idea of the speed cameras is that they operate in areas where there's a history of speed-related collisions, fatal road traffic collision, and they're known speed enforcement areas now. And again, it's to get that message out there. Like, the van is there, and I suppose it's even like ourselves out doing speed checks. Like, we would hope that we're not getting people speeding. We want to get people to slow down, that they're encouraged that when they know that the speed van will be at that location or the guards are out doing speed checks, that's a deterrent for them in itself, and that's the idea of it. It's not that we want to go out there and it's, catching everybody for speeding. That's not what it is. It's to encourage people to slow down, knowing that the speed vans will be out, the guards will be out doing speed checks as well. And then the penalty, of course, is that if you're stopped and you get penalty points and you get a fine. But that's not what we're looking to do, to penalise everybody. We're trying to educate people, get them to slow down, and of course reduce serious and fatal road traffic collisions on the road.
Okay, now with all that in mind, the Road Safety Authority and Gardaí are having the Midsummer Road Safety Appeal taking place today locally here.
That's right, that's happening in the Atlantic Technological University. I hope I said that right, formerly known as LYIT, and it's happening there this morning.
4 out of 10.
Thank you.
It's perfect. Go ahead.
And the appeal today will focus on road safety over the remainder of the summer period. And as you said, due to the increase of fatal accidents on the road, this appeal is happening today. So An Garda Síochána, the Road Safety Authority, will be urging road users to take greater care on the roads during high risk periods. And again, we're going into the August bank holiday weekend, so we would, really urge people to slow down and ensure that they remain within the speed limits at all times.
Yeah, because obviously coming into the bank holiday weekend, my understanding it's going to be dry for much of this week. Then it's going to rain at the weekend, so that obviously can impact on road conditions. There's going to be caravans out on the road. There's agricultural activity going on. people might be taking their bikes out for either push bikes or motorbikes. The roads are going to be much more busy and, much more hazardous. And we have to do what we can do to try and best prevent injury to ourselves and others.
Absolutely. And look, this time of year, I think, there's a lot more tourists, there's a lot more people in the area. Some people are maybe unfamiliar with certain locations and certain roads and maybe roadworks that are taking place and the network of roads that we have around here. So anything that we can do to encourage, road safety, absolutely, it's a priority for us. So once again, just to reiterate to people to slow down, never drive while under the influence of alcohol and drugs, and always wear your seatbelt, and your passengers, please ensure that they're wearing their seatbelts also. And indeed, if you observe dangerous driving on the roads, pick up the phone, give us a call. We'd be happy to deal with any complaints that we receive in that respect. And again, it's about saving lives. That's the most important thing. And, in Donegal, I suppose it's so prevalent up here. We've had numerous fatal road traffic collisions, and indeed myself, I've been to a number of them. And it's hard. It has such a knock-on effect, Greg, to families, friends and the wider community. And indeed for ourselves, going to different incidents, it's the last thing we want to be doing this weekend.
And that knock on the door, it's not a metaphor, it's not an example, it is what has to happen. And it's the fatal crashes, and it's the people, we all know them in our community, that suffer life-altering injuries that changes their lives forever as well. But that all being said, and it's in the notes here, and it's really important. It's not about being spoil sports or doom mongers. We want everyone to have a happy, enjoyable, and fun bank holiday weekend, but to do it safely and to minimise as much as we all can individually the dangers on our roads, to make sure we can do what I've just said.
Absolutely. And again, as you said there rightly so, we hope everyone has an enjoyable and safe bank holiday weekend, and for everybody.
Because there's lots going on. There's great things going on all around the county as well. So people get to it and get home from it safe. All right, Garda Sergeant Charlene Anderson, thank you so much.
Thank you, Greg.
It's been a pleasure having you in, as always. That was the Community Garda information item for this Tuesday, the 26th of July. It'll be available later for you on our social media and on Garda Síochána Donegal's social media a little later on this afternoon. And it will be back with you live on this programme next Tuesday. All right, we're going to take a quick break.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
Breedon's Furniture, Cooley-Maville. With over 40 years of experience in furniture and floor coverings, they've got Irish-made furniture, suites, beds, mattresses, dining, flooring, slide robes and occasional furniture. Great prices and large selection now available at Breedon's Home Furnitures, Cooley-Maville.
Progress is always possible. It's about completion, not compromise. On one side, future-thinking Audi technology. On the other, meaningful experiences enabled by it. And with every uncompromising, precisely designed detail, there's a willingness to design an offer that suits you at your nearest Audi dealership. An altogether more forward Audi way of looking at things, don't you think? Because the future is more than a destination. Future is an attitude.
The Elaine McGlinchey Memorial Tractor and Truck Run will be held in McGillsfield, Maharay, Castlefin on Sunday, July 31st. Registration from 11 a.m, leaving the field at 1 o'clock. Registration fee €15. Proceeds to Dunamore National School. Inquiries to John McGlinchey on 087 298 3508. This ad is sponsored by Mark McConnell, Agricultural Consultant and Auctioneer Stranorder.
is Green Day there. Wake me up when September ends. You're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show. I wonder, have I got Noel Cunningham with me? Noel, are you there?
I am indeed. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Noel, how are you keeping? How is the summer treating you? Hello, Noel.
Thank God everything is... Yes, hello.
Okay, no, we have you now. There's a slight delay, but it will pick up it. So tell me, how is the summer treating you, Noel? Well, there is quite a delay. I'll tell you, we might switch. We might switch technologies, Noel. Thank you very much for that. For now, Noel will be joining us in a moment on a different technology because that one's playing up on us. 08660 25,000 is the WhatsApp and text line, by the way. 07491 25,000. Now, to some of your comments as we get Noel. Bees, Greg, the bees are getting scarcer and scarcer every year. Every bit of lawn or grassy area is mowed continuously, and everywhere seems to be sprayed with weed killer. Our old flowering hedgerows are being removed and cut back, eliminating the flowers. I'm constantly talking about this to people I meet. All I hear is that you and your bees. Right, okay, so that's something you're passionate about. A caller says the bees and wasps have immigrated to a warmer climate, and who would blame them? I'm not sure that's a scientific response to that, but anyway, I do appreciate your time. Right, in texting us in. Noel, you can hear me now, can you?
I can indeed. The internet this morning is very poor in this part of Donegal down south. A very good morning to your listeners, and lovely to talk to you, Greg.
I'll ask again, how is your summer treating you?
My summer is treating me very well. We have got back to a kind of normality. There's still a little bit of stress in the air because people are not quite sure whether to throw caution to the wind and live normally or kind of live in that netherworld between COVID and normal life. But you know what? Overall, it's a very positive story. Numbers in this neck of the woods probably slightly down on previous years, but that's to be expected. People were dying to get away and get some sun and get on a plane, you know.
Yeah, and who would forgive them, though? It would be nice to see them return, and I'm sure they will. Right, Noel, plans are well afoot, too, for the Donegal Camino. It's taking place over the start of September. Talk to me about the Donegal Camino, its history, its establishment, and what it is.
Well, a lovely lady, Peggy Stringer, who's no stranger to the Inishowen Peninsula. She's from that neck of the woods. She decided to do a walk some years ago and to give the proceeds to charity. And out of that was born the Donegal Camino. We had our first official one last year. And Deirdre McGlone, again, who needs no introduction, Peggy and myself arranged this week of walking in Donegal. First of all, main concern was that our wonderful cancer care centre in Letterkenny be supported, number one. Number two, that we would introduce Donegal as a kind of place where people could come to recharge, to walk, to showcase our beautiful, beautiful countryside, our hills, our mountains, our lakes. And third, and by no means less important, that people had time just to step off the treadmill, have a week just in nature, outside, enjoying it. And thankfully, it was a huge success, and this year, no different. Huge, huge interest in it. And again, all proceeds going to Cancer Care West, their marvellous centre in Letterkenny.
Yes.
And you know
what?
what?
In terms of the success last year, it wasn't only a success, obviously, for those taking part, but in terms of fundraising, €26,000 raised for Cancer Care West Support Centre. And sometimes I think, you know, we throw these figures out. I'm not accusing you of it, Noel, but it's such a significant amount of money to gather together and add to the Cancer Care West Support Centre. Like, it really is a lovely chunk of money that they can do great things with. You know, if you had to earn that and pay tax on it, it's much greater than the 26,000 itself. I think that's, as I say, sometimes we brush over that a little bit. Not you, but me. But let's pause for a moment. Isn't that fantastic what these people did last year between yourselves and everyone else involving it and those taking part?
That money is invaluable. We sometimes get blasé about raising amounts of money. And honestly, there is not a penny spent that isn't necessary. The only money we actually fork out is for guides, which is essential. We have to have guides on those particular walks, and for insurance. Everything else, everybody else gives up their time for free. And you know, our health, and this is by no means a criticism, our health services are challenged for a variety of reasons, some beyond their control. Support centres in the area of cancer are unbelievably important. The Cancer Care Centre in Letterkenny has seen thousands of people through its door, offering a range of services and support, and sometimes as basic as a cup of tea and a chat. And it's just absolutely marvellous. And this year, now once we have registrations completed, I hope to involve all of those who've registered and ask them to come in to the party for that wonderful week in September with some personally raised sponsorship money, and I'm sure they will, because we would like to increase the amount of money.
You know, and I can see people maybe coinciding their annual leave for this type of thing, because, you know, lots of people like to walk, but it'd be a really nice experience to do it with other people and it be coordinated and guided. And it depends on people's ability, their want, their time. You can hike and walk for 1 day, for 3 days, or for 7 days. It's just €30 per person per day, and you can go on to the website donegalcamino.ie. So it's tailored there for what anyone wants, I think, Noel.
Absolutely. Nobody need be put off by the fact that we're talking about a week-long Camino. You can dip in, dip out. There are sort of walks that are entirely manageable for most people with any kind of level of fitness. We have our guides and our professionals there to help us. And at any time, if anybody got into anything bordering on a little bit of trouble or, you know, felt tired or even, God forbid, something happened, we have the resources there to ensure that that's dealt with immediately. And also, just as an aside, this year, for myself and for others that have organised this, it's kind of special for us because when we walk the going, you name it, Roskilde and Muckish and Erris and Sheskin the Blue Stacks Leave League, and at Mystery Island trip, it's fabulous. We will be remembering especially the late, great Rita Friel, who was inspirational and did a lot of work for Cancer Care West, this cancer centre in Letterkenny. And I personally will also be remembering Father Brian. Father Brian Quinn was a great hiker in his day and he loved the mountains. So we will say a little prayer and leave a few flowers along the way for those marvellous, marvellous people.
Yeah, you know, that's the spirit of this event. And there's lots of fun. There's that sense of togetherness. There's good laughs. Surprise guests, you never know who you might bump into too, who might get involved. And all at the same time, wondering at our most beautiful landscape, for many people seeing it from that perspective for the first time, Noel.
Absolutely, and even people, who live in Donegal who join, we are taking them to places they've never been. And furthermore, perhaps didn't have the confidence to climb Muckish, for example, but because they have the support of a group and guides with the Camino, they're going to say, you know what, let's give it a bash. And they do, and they will, and it's fantastic.
Okay, so for more information, now, as Noel has been mentioning there, the walks are the Erris Hills of Inishowen, Roskilde Peninsula, Derryveigh Mountains, Muckish, and so on and so forth. The sixth day, Clogher and Desert Valley, and then the climax is on Europe's High Sea Cliffs Leave League. It's Pilgrimage Path, or Pilgrim's Path, and the infamous One Man's Path. I mean, you've really picked out, and your team have picked out the highlights here. I know you mentioned Peggy and Deirdre involved in this. If you want to get involved, it's €30 per day for everything you've been hearing from Noel. 3 days, 75, 7 days for 150. And you can go onto the website donegalcamino.ie, where there's further information about people planning in terms of where they might stay and all that type of stuff, Noel, as well. You've gathered that information for them. So now they have a good month and a week or so to lay out their plans in place.
Absolutely, and they've even had that information has been available. We've had several calls, and we have people. Yesterday, somebody rang me from America, and they're coming, a little group of them, which is very exciting. And two of them haven't been back to Ireland since they left all those years ago. And it's very touching and very moving that they're going to revisit some of the places that they have in their glorious memory with a group of like-minded people. And as you say, it's a lot more than a walk.
Yeah, and you're a lot more than just a good host. You're an excellent host too, and people will be able to meet you, I'm sure, Noel, and others. Thank you so much. We'll chat maybe between now and then, but if we don't, I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. People are going to love it, and as you say, it's raising valuable funds. I know you probably would love to see that €26,000 last year bettered this year, and we shall see. Thank you, Noel, for joining us as always. Take care of yourself. Noel Cunningham there. Okay, we'll be back after these.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering mortgages from €40,000 to €600,000 with no hidden fees or transaction charges. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
This is a radio ad, voiced by an actor, made by a producer. It's all pretty straightforward. But when it comes to radio, there's more than meets the ear. If you're someone who's always wondered what goes on behind the mic, then the Learning Waves SkillNet 360 Broadcast Bootcamp course could be for you. You learn all about radio from some of the best people in the industry, from music presentation, music links, research, interviewing and editing, to voice training, and how to produce and present features for local, regional and even national radio. Better still, it's all free and fully funded by Learning Waves SkillNet through the SkillNet Ireland Skills Connect programme. All you have to do is apply before Friday, August 13 on learningwaves.ie. Go on, it could be your lucky day.
Want to win the ultimate festival experience? Electric picnic tickets are now on offer every week this summer with Aldi. Plus side stage viewing, glamping and your festival essentials too. Just spend €40 or more in store, take a snap of your receipt, upload it to aldi.ie/electric picnic for a chance to win big. Who knows? While you're in store, you might even find a special buy festival tent. Aldi. Every day amazing. 18 plus only. Ends September 11th. Excludes alcohol. Prices and full T's and C's at aldi.ie/electric picnic.
This summer, make some magical memories with family and friends at the Northwest's biggest adventure water park and inflatable assault course at the Shorefront Mayville with Inish Adventures. There's a whole world of fun waiting for you this summer. Kayaking, paddleboarding, banana boating, storm rides, sailing. Perfect for birthday parties, hen or stag parties, or a great family day out. Plus a cafe on site. For more details, call Inish Adventures Mayville or online at inishadventures.com.
The 7th annual Letterkenny Busking Festival is on Saturday the 30th of July, with musicians and singers performing all along the main street. With entertainment from 2 and buskers performing from 3 to 5, it's a great afternoon of street entertainment. The Letterkenny Busking Festival on Saturday, July the 30th. See Letterkenny Busking Festival on Facebook for details.
Okay, we're joined on the programme now by Dave Coleman of Coleman Legal. Dave, thanks for joining us today and good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Greg.
Right, so can you give us an overview of where we are at in relation to cases being taken by homeowners or on their behalf as it relates to the defective blocks scandal? So where are we at now as we speak?
Okay, as of this morning, we've just over 1,400 people signed into the case. We've issued over 750 writs in the High Court, and by Thursday we'll exceed 1,000. We have a special arrangement with the Central Office of the High Court to take in the volume. And once we receive the 1,000, we'll then dial that down over the summer, and we'll be issuing about 50 per week until we reach the 2,000 mark, Greg.
And what is the logic? And I'm presuming, of course, there's logic to it. But in terms of almost bombarding with these writs as opposed to maybe a test case or 2 or 3, and to see how that fares. What's happening here from a legal perspective?
Yeah, as you know, Greg, there's no class action law in Ireland, and therefore each individual has to secure their own rights before the courts. So therefore, it's vital that people issue their own writ in their own name to stop the clock ticking. But there's another reason, of course, which was that the Defective Blocks Bill did have it, although we got it removed, a provision whereby the Minister could take any ungrantable losses from anybody entitled to a grant and take them to the benefit of the state. However, we did secure an amendment to the legislation, And the reason we thought to introduce so many cases prior to the bill becoming law was to enable nobody to attempt to interfere with it again, as almost half of our clients are in before it and half of our clients will be in after the bill becoming law. So therefore, it's not really something that anybody will have an appetite for.
So is this for people who are going to engage in the scheme and to argue that there shouldn't be any shortfall that they have to meet? Or is this for people that are disinterested in the scheme and want separately for the state or other parties to repair their house to their original condition? Or is it a combination of both?
Oh, it's both, Greg. I think it's well known within the county that the grant scheme itself, although laudable and to be welcomed, doesn't really cover all of the costs involved, and therefore it has been deemed necessary to secure people's rights by joining this action to enable them to recover same from various third parties. And of course, Greg, those people not entitled to a grant, being those with rental homes, holiday homes, commercial property, farming property, property outside the state, they are also not included in the grant, and therefore they have to sue.
And those who could qualify for the grant, but their house value exceeds by some mark, say for instance the cap, they also are you also representing those people?
Yes, where there is a shortfall, Greg, we will be seeking to claim that difference. And unfortunately, we do believe the difference will rise over time. So, it's better to, nail it now so that people's time limits are protected and that they know that they have their own individual case.
So these writs are being sent in now at a great pace in huge numbers and will continue. That will continue. What is the next stage? What happens next? Are you hoping that the interest is such that it forces perhaps people back to the table again, or will we start having cases heard before the courts, and what will be the nature of those cases? What are the options so the landing zones, I suppose, between this action and what the government could do to maybe either meet it or fight it or whatever it might be?
Well, as a legal team, both solicitors and barristers, Greg, we wouldn't have issued any writs unless we believed that our case would win on the balance of probabilities, and we do believe that to be the case. And therefore, we will continue to advocate for our clients and vindicate their rights as we see them before the courts. However, of course, people are open to talk. Nobody wants to see this become a lawyer fest, Greg. Nobody, and that includes this firm. However, there is no choice. To start a case with an eye to settling it is a sure way to lose it, Greg. This case will be fought. It will be fought on all fronts with tremendous resources applied of international experts and others to ensure that justice is done here for these people.
How is this funded, Dave?
It's funded on a not-for-profit basis by a private company, which is backed by two Donegal businessmen. They have no, I suppose, other motive other than the welfare of their own community from which they hail from. So there's no cynical attempt here of anybody to in any way make a profit, take a gain, other than to serve their own community, as indeed the lead plaintiffs in the case are doing by taking on the huge onus of fighting for others through the courts, which those cases will most likely be heard.
When are we going to see the sort of the next stage of this legally? What happens next? When might we even have a case?
The first part of your question is that the next document, which is the seminal document in the case, Greg, is the statement of claim. And that document sets out who the lead plaintiffs are, what happened to them, what went wrong, and why they believe what happened to them was the responsibility of others. That document is almost 1 year in the making. And we continue to gather more information. We will be serving it in an as-is condition very, very shortly. But given the information we are receiving, we do believe that other parties will be added as defendants to the case.
Obviously, you wouldn't have got involved in this if you didn't think you could be successful, and no one's going to prepare for failure. But if there were one case that progressed and the fundamentals of it were such that it was thrown out or lost, is the process? Is it like a house of cards? Does this does this progress or fall off the basis of maybe one test case?
Yeah, well, I agree with you that there can be bad days in anything, Greg. And as far as we're concerned, we will proceed with the case through all avenues of the courts, which would be the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, or the European Court of Justice, that we will take it to its logical conclusion on behalf of the people.
And do you think the notice, do you think that the government and others should take note then of the scale of this and the determination, obviously, as you've been outlining, and the financial backing that's there?
Well, the government are going to take their own advice on it. And of course, the government aren't a defendant. There's the council, the NSAI and Cassidy's at this point in time. And, they're going to take their own advice as to how they're going to deal with this. But, the adage is, jaw is better than war. However, absent jaw, this is where we'll find ourselves.
And my apologies, I've been conditioned at this point to use the word government as a catch-all throughout all of this, if you know what I mean. Right, so in terms of people in Northern Ireland affected by this and other counties outside Donegal, because, we're based in Donegal and we've been talking about this now for 11, 12, 13 years. But obviously now other counties are seeing that they're affected by this. And as I say, we know there are properties in Northern Ireland affected by this. What is the uptake? I don't need specific numbers, but in terms of, these 2,000 that will be there, how many are from Donegal versus elsewhere?
Well, all cases are about properties in Donegal or in Northern Ireland. And most plaintiffs will hail from Donegal or indeed Northern Ireland, because a lot of people in Northern Ireland have holiday homes in Donegal. In relation to events in Mayo or in Clare, Tipperary, Sligo, Limerick, our case, although it may have a bearing on how things go in those counties, we don't actually represent people with properties in those counties, Greg. It is purely a Donegal issue.
The scale is huge when you think about it. 2,000 is a massive number in any, especially in this context. So if someone's listening and they're affected by this, and whether they choose to engage with the scheme or not, what do they need to do to say, right, I want to be part of this? Do they have to front load financially in any way, shape or form, or what is their course of action?
The case itself, Greg, is free to join. And we have an FAQ on our Coleman Legal website, which explains the ups and downs of the case itself. But the downs are very, very limited. It is free to join. It is a community-based activity. And by that we mean that we welcome all members of the community who have suffered a loss or believe they will suffer a loss to join in the case. And it is for free for them to join. So the window will close eventually, and probably sooner rather than later at the rate of instructions we're getting. So people should move to protect themselves. And once we hit the 2,000, Greg, we'll have to review it at that point. As you understand, it's privately funded, and what we don't want to do is to put an onus on taking in people that we can't actually adequately represent due to lack of funding.
And what is the precedent for this sort of third-party funded action? It's not something I've come across. It seems a little bit unusual to me, but I am literally thick, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So that is no surprise. But just like, has it been done before? Has it proven to be successful? Are we testing law? What's the story?
Well, it is sort of unique what we're doing here, because it's for the first time people have come forward in a massive way on a not-for-profit basis. It's the only basis upon which you could have third-party funding in this country. It's disdained upon. The courts don't like it. It brings an element of third-party advantage into a dispute between two other parties, of which they've no other interest other than a financial gain. So yes, it is unique, both in the size of the case and in the method of funding, but at the same time, it needs to be done. There is no avenue left to people other than recourse through the courts, which is, of course, their constitutional right.
All right, and people can search out Coleman Legal, of course. It will pop up very quickly in your Google searches or what have you. Thanks for your time this morning and for the update on how that's progressing. I appreciate it very much.
Good morning, Greg. Thank
All right,
you.
take care. That is Dave Coleman of Coleman Legal, 08660 25,000.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today. Are you interested in becoming part of a dynamic sales team? Do you have sales experience, along with an understanding of digital and social media? If so, we'd love to talk to you. Send your CV to jobs@highlandradio.com before Friday, 5th of August.
Getting value on your shopping has never been more important. That's why at SuperValue we have great offers like SuperValue Fresh Irish Cowboy Steak save 33%, selected personal care like Radox, Tresemme and Lynx save 70%, and get new weekly money off vouchers on the Real Rewards app. For low prices that compete with anyone, it's got to be SuperValue.
New this week in Home Store and More. All garden wall art is half price. But better hurry, because when all the half-price garden wall art is gone, it's gone. Also, all living room cushions are still half price. But when all the half-price living room cushions are gone, they're definitely gone. Order online before 2 p.m. for next day delivery, or drop by your local Home Store and More. Home Store and More. A happy home.
Forward Emphasis International, based in Mallinhead, are recruiting for their customer service teams with both in-office and hybrid opportunities available. Experience in contact centres or insurance services is desirable but not essential, as full training will be provided. Insurance qualifications available with bursary and study support also provided. Please visit their website www.forwardemphasis.ie and apply via their careers page.
Book a private VIP screening at Century Cinemas. Perfect for celebrating birthdays and special occasions. Featuring a private VIP screening with luxury reclining seating, delicious popcorn and a brilliant choice of movies. For further information on our VIP packages, call Century Complex Letterkenny on 07491 21976 or visit centurycinemas.ie.
Okay, coming up after 11 o'clock, we're going to be meeting the contestants for the Merry from Dunloe Festival 2022, talking to the coordinator of the festival, and so much more besides. Stay right where you are, but at 11 o'clock, let's get a news update at a minute past 11 and say good morning once again, Michaela Clark. How are you, Michaela?
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. Bill Clinton, Boris Johnson and Tony Blair are among world leaders, past and present, paying tribute to David Trimble. The former First Minister and ex-UUP leader has died at the age of 77 after suffering a short illness. A man remains in hospital following an assault in Castlefin. The man was assaulted in the Longbrae area at around midnight on Sunday last. He was transferred to hospital by ambulance for treatment to injury sustained. Meanwhile, Gardaí are seeking 3 people after a car they were travelling in crashed into a tree in the Maharabeg area of Burnfoot on Sunday afternoon last. A grey Volkswagen Golf with a partial registration of YNZ is believed to have been travelling from Burnfoot towards the Causeway Inch Island when it struck a tree at around 2:45 p.m. and was stuck in a ditch. Concern has been raised over the level of medical care being provided on Tory Island. The nurse station on the island has been on annual leave since Thursday, and residents were without medical provision for a week at Easter also. A number of people had to be transferred to Letterkenny University Hospital on Saturday after becoming unwell. Fines for drivers who speed or use a mobile phone are set to double. Junior Transport Minister Hildegard Naughton announced the plans at the launch of the RSA and Garda Síochána's Midsummer Road Safety Appeal at the ATU in Letterkenny. The fine for speeding is set to increase to €160, while motorists will now have to fork out €120 for using a mobile phone while driving or for not wearing a seatbelt. There's calls for immediate action to mitigate against a reoccurrence of flooding in Strabane. Damage was caused to homes and businesses across the town, many in areas previously affected. In particular, the Ballycolman estate, where short-term flood alleviation works have been approved but have yet to be carried out. And motorists are being urged to ensure their vehicles are secured at all times. It's after a grey Renault Megane with a partial registration of 01DL was stolen from a property in the Dunwiley area sometime between 10 p.m. on Friday and 9 a.m. on Saturday. Elsewhere, a wallet containing cash and bank cards along with a wedding card and cash gift was stolen from a car parked at St Mary's Church, Stranorlar on Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. A number of cars in the driveway of a house in the Dunwiley area were also interfered with in the early hours of Saturday morning. Those are the latest headlines. We'll be back with an update again at 12 noon.
Okie doke, thank you very much, Michaela.
You're all living your best lives now, aren't you?
That's right. Andrea got a new car with heated everything. Greg's finally having his horse-themed wedding. I'm getting the bathroom redone.
It's a waterfall rain shower.
This mightn't be your life, but with a loan from On Plus Money, you can live your best life with Ireland's lowest rate on loans over 20k. Apply now at onplus.com/loans. On Plus Money, your money for your world. Lending criteria, T's and C's apply. New applications only. Info correct July 14, 2022. Source CCPC for Ireland's lowest rate. On Plus Tax is a credit intermediary on behalf of Avantcard DAC. On Plus Trading as On Plus Money is authorised as a credit intermediary by the CCPC. Avantcard DAC trading as Avant Money is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here in Highland Radio. And for the next while, we're going to be focusing on the Mary from Dunlow Festival 2022. We have 13 entrants in total, and we have 2 reigning Marys as well. And another Mary, Mary Ward, who is the Mary coordinator. No end of Marys. Mary Ward, good morning to you.
Morning, Greg.
How are you keeping?
I'm keeping very well, and it's great to be back to have the Mary from Dunlow Festival up and running again for the 57th year.
Yes, and a physical one where everyone can go.
55th year. Yeah.
Sorry, and a physical one where you can do all the usual stuff that has become traditional.
Yes, we have everything back up and running. All our usual popular events like the Law Gaelic and open air concerts with Jay Carter, and we have a big event tomorrow night, our Family Fortunes, which is going to be big because we have the Dunlow GAA versus Naomhuire. We have...
So you're tapping into a bit of sporting rivalry there as well. Yes, clever, whoever come up with that.
We'll have Cagio Rovers versus... Strand Rovers. And some of the other businesses in the town, Super Value versus the Cope, hopefully. So, and we have our gala ball, and we'll have our crowning cabaret, of course, again with Daniel Compere in it. I really don't know what we would have do without Daniel O'Donnell. I don't think there'd be any Mary from Dunlow Festival. He's been absolutely tremendous over the weekend. And if he's listening in, Daniel, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
If he's listening, give us a call, Daniel. We'd like to hear from you. And I saw some of the videos of his performance the last couple of days. I've lost track of time. The weather wasn't fantastic, but still, the show went on. There was a good turnout, and Daniel delivered as he always does.
He does, yeah. And I must say, Conor O'Donnell also put on a great show, and we had Sean Cudahy. And the people who braved the elements really enjoyed it, as you can see from the videos and all the social medias, the Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, so, it's all going good, and we're looking forward now to the weekend. We have Carl Doherty has a great lineup for...
Come in and take a picture. Don't stand through the window. We want everyone to look their best. This is a very relaxed atmosphere here. Go ahead, Mary.
So we have Carl Doherty has a great lineup for Law Gaelic on Thursday, and then on Friday we have that. That's Jay Carter. We have Emer Rebel first. That's an open air concert. We have the Tumbling Paddies in open air concert on Saturday night, and then on Sunday night, as I said, we have our crowning cabaret, and of course we have the gala ball, which we're expecting you and the lovely Aisling to attend.
That's Friday.
Yeah, yes, that's Friday night. Yeah, have your tux out.
Is it tux?
Oh yeah.
That saves an email.
All the questions.
Okay, right. I didn't think we were going to do that on air, but now I know. Right, okay. So I'll be down in Letterkenny later. All right. Now we have also in studio with us, and we're going to meet all the Marys, the 2021 virtual Mary, Alana. Alana, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Greg.
You're virtual. Did you have the full experience? I don't know. What's your emotions?
Yeah.
I know you've had a fantastic time and you've been the face of Mary for the last while, but...
Yeah, I suppose my experience was very different to that I'm experiencing this week with the rest of the girls. I'm doing this for the first time as well.
You're a part of this too.
I'm so glad to be a part of it, and thank God that the committee were willing to let me be a part of it this year, which was just so considerate of all the committee. And so considerate of Roisin as well, because she's ended up kind of sharing centre stage here this year. It's one of a kind, and I suppose after COVID we've all had to adapt and things have changed.
No one's calling you the COVID Mary, I hope.
No, nobody, not yet anyway, no.
I didn't. So if that sticks, it's got nothing to do with me.
I know, but I grew up at the festival in person obviously, so it is so nice now to be on this side of the table and to be part of it. When I was younger we'd always be wanting to meet the Marys and out dancing on the street with the Marys and checking the timetable to see where the Marys were and things. So now to be part of that group, and you know, to be especially like staying together and to be on the bus together, we're having great crack. So even though I was virtual, I am getting the best of both worlds now.
Yeah, for sure. As I say, it's great that you're involved and you're getting this experience as well. Roisin Mar, 2019 Physical Mary, but we can drop that moniker after this year.
Exactly.
It's like a lifetime since you
like
were up on stage receiving that crown. I mean, I'm sure your life has progressed so much, but good to be back.
Oh, it's great to be back, Greg. Yeah, it has been a while. 2019 does seem like a long time ago, but no, it's brilliant to be back. And just coming back into Dunlow on Saturday morning, all the emotions came back. It wasn't the same driving down the street in Daddy's Merc as it was driving down in the open top cavalry with Daniel O'Donnell, but you know what, we done it. But it's been brilliant. It's been such a good year, or well, 3 years I suppose, even having got to do what I'd done from September up to the March of 2020. Like getting to come back and turn on the Christmas lights here was just so special. And then I've got to do lots of stuff out in New York. Obviously there was a pause for a while, but then kicking it back up again this year with the girls. You know, the girls, the ones who were selected back to go for 2020 when it was meant to happen, like there's been a Facebook groups, there's been WhatsApp groups, there's been great communication with the girls, almost like they arrived here already being friends, lots of them. So yeah, it's been
and there's
been
something
brilliant.
unique about it, and we'll talk to it as we meet other ones. There is something unique about that bond that's formed, because I think if you try and explain it to people that haven't been through that, they might not really get it because they see snapshots and pictures, but there's something goes on there, doesn't it? And it's people from all different backgrounds, different places with different interests, you know, a completely different, a group of people that are really quite different.
Quite different, yeah, no, it is. And definitely like the bond is formed. Like, I mean, as part of my life moving forward, I got engaged over the last 3 years, and like there's girls who I was married with in 2019 who are invited to the wedding and who will be coming to the wedding, like, and you know, that those kind of friendships they're just something that you don't get without having an experience like this. And it's been absolutely
You're still
brilliant.
based in the United States.
Yeah.
How's life there for you? Obviously things progressing for you.
It's busy, yeah, still there. Just on the bus on the way in this morning, I had to put through an order of 25,000 bricks and 16 pallets of mortar to be delivered to a site. So.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't? What Mary hasn't ordered a pallet of bricks and mortar.
Laid bricks, didn't you?
I did for my talent. Yeah. Now my bricks are still standing. I won't tell you about Daniel's. No, but even he
was a dab hand, in fairness.
He was very good.
Exactly,
yeah. But even turning on the Christmas lights, my boss, I had videoed it and we sent it over to the boss, and you know, it was with the wave of a magic wand. We counted down and all the lights came on. He was like, "You could do it bringing that wand back over to New York. There's a couple of sites that we could."
Do people get it over there? Because obviously you're operating in a different, completely different type of world, as you say. You talking this morning about having to fulfill orders and all that type of stuff and balance all that, and then this is like so completely different, or maybe it's not.
Yeah, no, but there's a great Irish community over there, and again, a lot of the stuff I'd done, you know, I done stuff with the Donegal Association of New York. I done stuff obviously with the Mary from Dunlow Committee in New York. I went down to the Irish centres in Queens, done senior luncheons. And the Donegal community over there, as well as like the extended Irish community, they understand it. They, like Mary said, 55 years, so a lot of them know exactly what the Mary from Dunlow is.
Yeah. And you know, and it's sad, and this is not anything bad about Ireland, but sometimes to experience the Ireland of old, how it used to be here, how everyone dug each other out, how everyone helped each other out, how everyone you have to go out to Dubai or New York or another US state or city or to London, and it's still there, but we're kind of losing it a little bit, I think, at home.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
I understand.
I know people that are involved in it, and I know people have had every help they could have when they're out there, and it used to be like that here, and it just isn't. It's really
not the same.
So you're getting the best of Ireland. In New York,
in out there as well, yeah.
Mary Ward, so are you able to relax a little bit now? Or
I'm able to relax a bit now because
let's not get carried
having
away.
Said that, we have a very lively bunch of Marys. You're in for a treat, Greg. You and all the other judges, I can tell you. We have, under the stewardship of Mary Rogers, who originally came on as a photographer, they have formed a band, a Cultus group. And we have a choir headed by Alana. I doubt if any of them will have a voice left at the end of the week. So
And that's all because they're going to be singing and performing, nothing else.
Yeah, nothing, of course, nothing else.
Well, we all had to run into a shop late last night to buy strepsils and throat lozenges because even after the first 3 days, our throats are all starting to go. Yeah. So, no, we had a great time.
It's lovely ways of visiting and people, and I'm sure the young ones get a great buzz out of you all piling out of the bus. And it's nice to have that positive impact on, because there's so much, we can talk about so much crap, pardon the French, right? Of what's going on. Isn't it nice just to be able to sort of
no, it's
have
brilliant,
something different?
And that's actually one of the positives that came out of having the virtual Mary and the reigning Mary, because Roisin was still the international winner and she was able to represent the Mary from Dunlow on that international stage during COVID, whereas I was at home, I was kind of on the ground, able to go to these events while we were trying to put our community back together after COVID. And the two of us, it worked really well. It really did.
Okay. So who officially is the reigning Mary? Is there a physical and a virtual? You.
Yeah.
So you're like Noel Cunningham, the eternal Donegal person of the year.
Yeah,
you're like the longest.
Noel.
You're the longest serving Mary ever.
Yeah, I'd be a good pub quiz question, around this neck of the woods for years to come.
Right. Okay. Listen, it's wonderful having you in studio, Mary. So it might get you back in for a one-way chat at the end, if that's all right.
Oh, yeah, that's
we'll do that
problem.
actually.
Yeah.
So for now, Mary Ward, who's the coordinator, of course, our 2021 virtual Mary, Alana, and also the 2019 Mary from Dunlow, Roisin. We're going to be meeting the 13 entrants after we take a break. Stay right where you are. And if you want to watch proceedings here, don't forget you can always watch the show live. Go onto our website, highlandradio.com, or on our social medias, YouTube, Highland Radio Ireland, or across our Facebook pages. Okay, I don't want to throw that away. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate holiday loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
If you've got great photos sitting on your phone or in the cloud, why not visit mcgee's.ie and see the range of creative options available. Get larger 7x5 prints for the same price as the standard 6x4s, with 100 prints for just €12. Or select from the great range of photo gifts like mouse and placemats, phone covers, jigsaws and clocks. Click and collect or have them delivered. See what you can do with your favourite photos online at mcgee's.ie.
Experience everything this summer has to offer here at Letterkenny Shopping Centre, with a wide range of shops and services packed with great choice and value for you to explore. You can enjoy free parking, Wi-Fi and take a break with our popular outdoor seating area. Letterkenny Shopping Centre. We can't wait to see you.
Are you frequently asking others to speak slowly, clearly and loudly? Is listening to the TV or radio becoming harder? If your hearing is affecting your everyday life, Connect Hearing are here to help. Our clinics in Letterkenny and Dunlow are open Monday to Friday, where you can avail of our hearing test, wax removal and repair services. Take that first step to better hearing. Call us today on 07491 13296. Connect Hearing, connecting you to life.
Calling Bus Air and Expressway passengers. If you're travelling between Donegal and Dublin on Expressway's Route 30x30, we recommend booking your seat online at expressway.ie for the best travel experience. Most people are booking ahead to guarantee a seat, and you get an advance email in the event of any service disruption. All passengers can track where their coach is using Expressway's real-time passenger information. And our customer care agents are available by phone 7 days a week. Have a great trip with Expressway.
If you have a job to do this weekend, did you know that Watson Hire still have their brilliant weekend hire deal available? You can hire any item on Friday, keep it until Monday and only pay for 1 day. That's 3 days hire on any equipment or machinery for the price of one. So there's no excuses to get that job done this weekend. Book early to avoid disappointment by calling Watson Hire in Letterkenny on 9167777.
Okay, now we begin to meet the entrants for this year's Mary from Dunlow Festival 2022. We say good morning first to India Kennedy, Donegal Mary. India, good morning to you. You've been on this programme before.
I have, yes, Greg.
How are you getting on?
I'm great, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm good. Why did you decide to put yourself through this? I was going to say put yourself forward for this.
Well, growing up, we would have been always seen the parades. We've been in the Donegal Town Community Band, so we would have been marching past, seeing all these gorgeous Marys sitting up on the stage. And in the past, it would have been something that I never thought I would have done. But I decided in January to go a bit out of my comfort zone. So I applied for it and I said, If I get it, I'll stay at home, and if I don't, I'll go away for the summer. And thankfully, I was chosen as the Donegal Mary, and I'm
so it's really
glad.
quite important to you then, because you've maybe you can do it next year, but you've put on plans on hold for this.
Yeah, I just thought I think this is the right summer for me, and it's been just a fantastic experience from the start. Like, we've been so welcomed by everybody we've been to, and it's such a proud moment for me to be able to show all the Marys everything that our Donegal has to offer.
Yeah, you're kind of hosting some of them as well. I suppose the local Marys, inverted commas, sort of end up doing that, don't they?
Yeah.
But also, you're seeing parts of the county through this process that you haven't seen, but certainly not, in this context.
Yeah, like, I've never been up Sleeve League before. I've drove past it, and
That's
I've been to
I would
Teeling.
never admit to that. That's criminal.
I know, it's a disaster. It's so bad, but oh my God, it was just fantastic. Like, and the wee nooks and crannies of Donegal that a lot of people would never even see, that are just brilliant. Like.
And also, this is a platform as such. It's not. I don't want to make it too serious, but you're looking to get involved in politics. You're studying politics, and I've seen with previous Marys, they can use this as an opportunity, to sort of make a point or for it to be to form part of the work. I'm not saying you're necessarily going to do that, but who's to say why not?
I think it's definitely boosted my confidence a lot. I wanted something to kind of bring me out into the world and help me build up my confidence, and this has just been a fantastic way to do it. And as you said, I do hope to go into politics, and something like this
I
is
can't
great.
talk you out of that now.
No, I don't think so now, Greg.
Do you think you could see yourself in elected politics, or maybe working behind the scenes in politics, or what might you?
I hope to go out in front and go as an elected.
Yeah.
I think there's so much to do in Donegal. Like, I was speaking to a lot of businesses who are saying that they've been a lot quieter than last year. And I think tourism is something that we really need to look on, and supporting these businesses. I was speaking to the owner of the Cove in Ironmore Island, who said it's a lot quieter, and she employs a lot of the locals on Ironmore Island. We need to ensure that people like her have a business for years to come, so she can employ the locals and keep bringing people to the island.
Yeah, I think you'd be a great addition to politics, so please don't be discouraged.
Thank you,
Shannon Hester, Bayonne Mary, good morning to you. How are you getting on? Have I got your mic up? Are you well?
Doing good. How are you?
I am good. So tell us why you got involved. Oh, where is Bayonne anyway? I know, just for the listeners that don't.
Bayonne is in New Jersey.
Of course, yes.
Yes, it's in New Jersey, and there's a really strong Irish community in Bayonne. Even as we've hopped to and from different places in Donegal, I have met so many people from Bayonne. It has been great to see some familiar faces. So I just got involved by being an Irish girl in Bayonne.
Now you've put down the fire hose and picked up the sash.
Yes.
Are you full-time firefighter, reserve call-up, whatever it might be?
Yeah, I'm a full-time professional firefighter.
And what brought you to that job?
It sort of put together all of my interests, serving the community. That's what that job is all about, helping others. I ran track in college, so being fit is something that's important to me, and that kind of forces me to stay in shape because my life depends on it. And it's a really cool thing that I'm only the 4th ever female firefighter in our town. So
that's really a fantastic achievement. Yeah. And this is a decision. You were training to be a teacher, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you come to some crossroads and says, right, I'm running towards the flames rather than...
Yeah, I was a teacher for a while before, but I'm so happy that I made the switch.
Yeah, and you're very active. You love scuba diving.
Yes.
Are you going to get a chance to do that around here? All the wrecks that we have, all the amazing underwater attractions.
I'm not sure that I'll get a chance this time around, but I'll definitely have to come back.
And is this your first time in Ireland?
This is my first time in Ireland, my first time in Europe, so
wow.
Yeah, so it's a big trip for me.
Yeah, all right. We might be trying to get out of Europe, but anyway, I'm sure you mean the continent.
Yes.
No, we're happy in Europe, I think, for the time being. Right, okay. Also, Elizabeth Libby McCall, Dunlow Mary. How are you getting on?
Good. How are you, Greg?
It's good to have you with us. I think always the Dunlow Mary is an interesting one, isn't it? Because I know lots of people from around the area will have grown up through this, but you really, really have because you're from the town and you've been out and about every year.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So tell us why you decided this was the year that you say, right, I'm going to have a crack at this.
Well, I think every young girl in Dunlow looks up to the Marys and always wanted to be a Mary. But I just thought this year I'm in the town and I'm the right age just to kind of get involved and meet new people. So, yeah.
And it's not, you work in the community, you've been involved in the local marching band, play music, all that type of stuff. So Dunlow is incredibly important to you.
Yeah, it is incredibly important to me, yeah.
Right, and a big shout out to all those in Sharky's top service station.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Hi, guys.
They've given you the week off, have they?
Oh, just about, yeah.
All right, and come here. You want to become a special needs assistant too,
Yeah.
and particularly you want to stay local in doing that, do you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Why is that important to you, Libby?
Just to help the young ones, because when I was at school, I needed help as well.
Yeah.
So I know how much they struggle. So I just want to make a difference in the young people's lives in Dunlow.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it, when you hear each other's stories, because they're all so compelling, aren't they? And all for different reasons and for the right reason, and you've all achieved so much or hope to achieve so much. It's tough, isn't it? And I think maybe, is that where the bond comes from, I wonder? That you start, this respect for each other? Or
Definitely, we've come from such different areas and such different corners of the world, but the minute we met at 12 o'clock on Saturday, we've just become inseparable since. We've gotten on so well. There's been fashion shows at 12 o'clock at night and running around in the morning getting ready, but it's just been so good. And I know that we've all made friends for life now.
Yeah, okay, and you'll have hometown support, but there's a number will as well. Libby, listen, it's been wonderful meeting all three of you. I'm probably overrunning here because we've lots of people to meet. But India, great to have you back on the show again as well. Shannon, great to have you here. Another remarkable, interesting story, as is Libby, Elizabeth Libby McColl's this year's Dunlow Mary. Thank you for joining us as well. All right, take care of yourselves. All right, we look forward to seeing you at the weekend. All right, if you just want to make your way out, we'll get our next three in. 086 60 25,000. By the way, if you have a message or you want to say something, give us a text on 086 60 25,000, WhatsApps and SMSs, you know yourself, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000. Again, thanks to India, Shannon and Elizabeth. We're joined in studio now by the Dublin Mary, Anne Michelle McConnell. A very good morning to you, Anne Michelle.
Good morning, how
How
are you?
keeping? I have to look and make sure I get the right mic up. How are you keeping?
Good, yeah.
How are you enjoying it so far?
I'm loving it. I've been in love up here. I love Mary. I've been up here. I moved up here for COVID. And I think that's when I really fell in love.
Did they not have COVID in Dublin?
They
had
did,
to move up here
but no, I think
I'm
it
only
was
joking.
it was so hard up in Dublin because there's so many people and you really couldn't leave the house, whereas we have a family house up in Mahary, and I think it was just the fresh air and everything, and you could go down to the beach, and that's when I
different
really
lifestyle, and you've stuck with it now. You're able to stay here and work remotely. You're like one of these remote workers
No, I'm studying early childhood in college, so I'm down in DCU St. Pat's for that. But I've spent the whole summer now up in Aaronmore teaching and taking care of the students over there in the Gaeltacht.
Yeah, and national school teaching is where you want to go, isn't it?
Yeah, we've a new course now in DCU St. Pat's. They had their first graduates last year, but it's a new course, so we do law and social working as well, so it's a really broad you can go into, but I'm kind of thinking the social working side of it, which I've really enjoyed.
But you're at that point, and the way you're studying, you've choices, and you can see where your head and your heart leads you at some point. Okay, and you're a keen runner. You completed a marathon, a full marathon, is it, or is
the VHI Women's Marathon?
Right.
I completed this year, so it's 10k. And I did that for a charity, which is very close to my heart.
And this is for children with limiting conditions, and we know it's right across the country, and there's a number here in Donegal as well that rely on the organisations that you fundraised it for.
Yeah, so it's really neurological, which I'm mainly based on. My dad has a neurological disease and I have epilepsy myself, so it's really close to my heart, and fundraising for that charity was really important to me.
Good stuff. And it's important to you beyond the run. There was more to it than that. Okay, yeah, I get you. Are you doing a performance on the night, or is that a secret? Or can we ask these questions, or is that something you keep close to your chest?
Yeah, so each one of us have to do like a little
I know,
showpiece.
I want to know what it is.
I myself am doing a poem through Irish.
Lovely.
Yeah, so it's really about the Irish language and getting it back up and running.
All right, now I'll have to watch what I say here for fear of a writ or something. Caroline Galvin is this year's Belfast Mary. Good morning to you, and thanks for joining us, Caroline.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So why did you decide to get involved in the Mary from Dunlow?
So I actually am living in Dunlow at the moment, but I was originally born in America. And then my family moved over about 7 years ago.
So there's about 15 places you could have been the Donegal of the Mary from, really.
Yeah,
you just
definitely. Belfast is definitely the most random one. But I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my sister was the Chicago Mary in 2019.
Right.
So I just wanted to follow in her footsteps because she had a blast and she absolutely loved it.
Wow, so she was telling you what she went through and you thought, I would like,
yeah,
I'd
exactly.
like a bit of that. Brilliant stuff.
We're very similar to each other, so
Yeah.
I knew it was a bit of me when she was going on about it. So yeah.
And tell us, you are studying in Belfast, are you?
I am, yes. in
Okay,
Queen's.
and you want to be a solicitor? Is
Yes.
that right? Did you have any particular area that you want to focus on if and when qualified, or when qualified?
Yeah, so I did my undergrad in city planning and environmental policy in UCD, and then I kind of decided to go away from city planning, and I really enjoyed environmental policy, but I've always liked law as well, so I eventually want to be a solicitor but specialise in environmental law.
And you've an interest in hockey. Where did that come
Yeah,
from?
so I was in boarding school in Tipperary, and when I was 14, they didn't have any American sports really, so I had to just take my hand in all of them.
You could have tried a different one, though.
Yeah, yeah, I could have, but hockey was the easiest to pick up, because Gaelic isn't really that much in America. Like, I never really had a chance to play it, so I picked up hockey and I really loved it. And then when I went to undergrad, I didn't really get a chance at it, but then when I went to Queen's, I decided to pick it back up again.
You're enjoying the whole experience as well as everybody else, aren't
Love
you?
it,
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, it's great.
Has there been a highlight so far, other than meeting people and forming bonds, or?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the night in Costatugans. See, I used to work there, so it was really nice to get back with the team and everyone have dinner in there. But I'm really looking forward to the Gala Ball as well.
Which is now apparently you have to wear a tuxedo, which I didn't.
Yeah,
realise in
very
advance.
fancy.
Okay. And Michelle, what's your highlight been so far?
Of course, meeting all
Yeah.
the girls, we've really clicked really quickly, and it's really nice this year. We're actually all staying in the same house, so we have all our funny
Any
moments.
arguments or anything? Is anyone going to give me some gossip? There has to have been some disagreements.
don't think there has.
There hasn't really been
All right, okay.
disagreements. We've all had
I'll
our-
come back to you on Thursday.
Give us some more days.
Okay, Sean Eddie Doherty's the Gaeltacht Mary. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks very much for having
How
us
are you
all.
keeping?
I'm doing good, yeah. I'm enjoying the week so far.
All right. Now, what's your interests?
Well, as I'm representing the Gaeltacht, I suppose it's obvious that one of my interests would be the Irish language, but I'm doing my undergrad in Irish and history, and so I have a keen interest in history as well.
How do you think we are doing in terms of, sustaining what we have in terms of the spoken language and its encouraging its use? I know there's a lot of resources and effort being put in, not just in the Gaeltacht, but in the likes of Letterkenny and elsewhere. Do you think we're making some inroads there?
I think we are making progress, and I know it's very hard to judge something like that, but I think we are, and even maybe it's just because I am a bit more interested than most, but I can see the different activities that people have on at all times for children and adults, and it's not just about Irish classes. Like, there's loads of Irish classes available, but I believe strongly in making Irish a bit more interactive, and people having a good time while they're speaking Irish or trying to learn Irish. And I think maybe most people find it daunting to sit in a classroom and learn Irish, so I find that there are a lot more activities now of learning Irish while doing something else alongside it.
A bit immersive as well, and maybe focusing on the spoken to begin with, and then we can start worrying about the
absolutely
the
grammar
T's.
and all that, because most of people are just looking to have conversations in Irish anyways.
And I think people too with Irish are now more open to engaging with someone trying.
Absolutely.
Because there used to be you used to get a sense of, not snobbery, I'm not saying snobbery, but I just did.
No, yeah.
But now people are saying, right, you know what, at least you're trying, and
Absolutely.
I'll engage with you, and that encourages people to sort of not be shy about the 3 sentences they have. Start with that and see where you go from there.
Absolutely.
And you believe you might have a role too in promoting our language abroad, not just within the Gaeltacht or within the county, the country, but further afield. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, as the American Marys were saying earlier on, they have good connections with their Irish culture, and I would love to travel abroad to these Irish communities and kind of just see if I could do anything for them in regards to language, because I know there are Irish learners in America and Canada and all across the world. There's Irish communities in Dubai now, in Australia, so we are expanding, but I would love to go over, and I don't know, you couldn't expect to teach them how we are here at the minute, but I would love to go in and get them back into their Irish heritage and
exactly,
into
and
the
then
Irish
they
language.
can do the effort from their end just to light a fire. for
Absolutely,
example.
and
Yeah, okay.
start.
Brilliant stuff. What are you looking forward to for the remainder of the week, Shauna?
I think I'm looking for, well, the leg ale is going to be great, but I'm especially excited for our visit to the Crawley Distillery, which has recently opened. I
Mhm.
haven't actually been yet.
I've never been to a distillery. I wouldn't even know what would be in there.
Well, neither do I. I'll tell you after
Yeah, do
Thursday.
that, okay.
No, I'm looking forward to that because it's near, I'm from Ranafast originally, so it's very close to Ranafast, and it's been in the progress for a few years now, so I can't wait to actually go in and see what it's like in there.
Okay, well, listen, it's been lovely meeting all three of you. Thanks so much, Anne, Michelle, Caroline, and Shauna. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the weekend. That's, I think, a lot of the fun stuff as well. It's all fun though, but the weekend's going to be particularly good, I think. So thank you all three of you for joining us. The Dublin, Belfast and Gael Talk to Mary. We'll be introducing the next three entrants after we take this break. Stay right where you are.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
The Bank of Ireland in Letterkenny currently have vacancies for welcome advisors. Working as part of a collaborative and dynamic team, successful applicants will have the opportunity to work closely with personal and business customers and build a career with the bank. Submit your CV to Yvonne Bowl in Bank of Ireland Letterkenny or email yvonne.bowl@boi.com.
Who still hasn't managed to get the barbecue out? Well, better late than never, because at Lidl we've got sizzling deals, like 4 Irish beef quarter pounders for $2.29, 20% off barbecue accessories, and Super Savers lettuce and corn on the cob, just 49 cents each. No excuses now. Get grilling. Lidl, more for you.
Beat the cost of Brexit with no customs charges. Do you need a UK address for your limited company or personal use? Space Hub in Derry can provide you with your own mailbox. Have your post and parcels delivered to Space Hub and collect at your convenience. There's brand new 20-foot shipping containers now in stock, ideal for all your storage needs at our Springtown and Coolmore depots. Find us on Facebook at spacehubderry.com or call 04871 878077 for more details.
Treat your garden to a makeover at GMG Stone Letterkenny. We offer great value on decorative stone, garden paving, slabs and artificial grass, all tailored to your needs with home delivery available. We also supply railway sleepers, whiskey barrels and place sand, all available for pickup or delivery. Open Monday to Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. You will find us beside Donaghy Motorhomes on the Port Road. For an appointment, call 087 647 9121. GMG Stone, just what your garden needs.
Okay, let's say hello to Caitlin Finn first, the London Mary. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Greg.
I'm
Thank
not
you very
following
much.
you around, we keep bumping into each other in London, Donegal.
Absolutely.
How are you keeping?
Absolutely fantastic.
So you've
Really
been
enjoying
waiting
the
for
week
this
so far.
for a while now. It's great that it's actually happening. Hopefully it's matching all your expectations.
Oh, exceeding my expectations, absolutely. It's been fantastic.
Tell us how you got involved in this
so
competition.
I helped out with the festival, taking pictures and following the Marys around in 2017, 18 and 19. And just thought it was a fantastic opportunity and decided to apply. And then in April 2020, I was told I was going to be the London Mary.
You're over in London at the moment.
I am.
You're a teacher and also you have a very prestigious title of being the first voted Student Life President. What's the Student Life President?
So I'm the first female Student Life President at St Mary's. So I help to run all the societies, to organise events. I sit on the Board of Governors at the university, so all of the important decisions, I am the spokesperson for the students to make sure that everything that's decided is in line with the students' wants and interests.
Now, you'll have no bother getting up on the stage on Sunday.
Absolutely not.
You're no stranger to the stage. You love that stuff. You love the
Yeah.
arts, don't you?
Yeah, I graduated on Wednesday last week and I made a speech in Westminster Cathedral in front of about 2,500 people. So
I'd be up to
It was
high
great
dough
crack.
doing that. Was it all right? How do you prepare for something like that? Give me some tips.
Oh, I
Do you
don't
pretend
know.
everyone's naked? That's what one of the pieces of
No, I
advice is.
don't- I
always
don't-
thought
I don't think that would help me.
I always thought that'd be a horrendous thing to do. But that's what they say.
No, just deep breaths. Yeah, it was an emotional day, and the leaders of the university were like, "Whatever you do, just don't cry." Yeah, it was.
And like
fantastic
all
experience.
of the Marys, I'm sure you've got a really proud family, don't you? That follow
Absolutely.
everything that you do and what
Yeah.
have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Nanny Mary and Anya and Granda will be listening out in Portugal at the minute.
Portugal.
So they're out in
Okay,
Portugal.
lovely. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Why would you be listening to the radio out in Portugal? I know what I'd be doing.
I'd have to tune into you, Greg.
That's such a nice thing to say. I feel like it's guilty moving on now because you're so polite. Ciara Gallagher Murphy's this year's Glasgow Mary. Ciara, are you living in Glasgow?
Yeah, I'm back in Glasgow now. I was at uni in Derry for 4 years there, so I graduated last May, and I'm now back in Glasgow.
Is there a big difference between life in Derry? Obviously, it's life as a student, though, but life in Glasgow. You know, there's strong connections between the Northwest and Scotland, of course, but when you're living in the two different places, miles apart?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
I suppose you walk around Glasgow, and as they say, half of Glasgow's actually from Donegal. So you walk around and everybody knows everybody almost. Everyone's in the same circles and whatever. So when you come over here, you're walking around and there's people from Glasgow everywhere you go. So apart from the student life thing, there wouldn't be that much of a difference.
Yeah. You're another one with interest in music and an interest in Gaelic football. Yeah. Was that honed in Glasgow?
Yeah. So I picked up the banjo in Glasgow through Irish minstrels when I was about 8 or 9, and started Gaelic football through Tyrconnell Harps, also in Glasgow, when I was young, and I've just kind of carried it through. When I went to uni, was playing Gaelic football and playing music at uni, which was good. Kind of got more sessions over there than I would have at home. But I'm always over every year for the All Ireland Fla. So it was
a natural career progression for you then, with you given your interest to start studying sports and physiotherapy.
Yeah, so I done my undergrad in sports, physical activity and health. I knew I was interested in sport, but wasn't sure at that time what I wanted to go into. So now I'm going to do my postgrad in sports physiotherapy.
Yeah, and how familiar have you been with the Mary from Dunlow, and what's the experience been like versus your expectations?
So my granddad's actually from Ranafast, so we still have a house there. So every year we would come over here for 6 weeks, and we'd be in Dunlow for the festival, you know, up and down the main street. So I always was aware of the festival and everything to do with it, and knew a few of the Glasgow Marys throughout the years. So when I was younger, as everyone did, looked up to them and was like, oh, I want to do that one day. So I'm delighted this year to get the opportunity to come over.
Brilliant, and it's great to have you here. Olivia Lizowski is this year's Philadelphia Mary. Good morning to you, Olivia. Thank you so much for calling in as well.
Oh, thank you for having us.
How have you been to Ireland before?
Yes, I've been a couple of times. My family's from here.
Okay.
So.
And what's this experience been like? When do you arrive ahead of this competition? It's not a competition as such, but this event.
So I got here a little over a week ago. I was staying with family, and then I've never actually been to Dunlow. I was staying with family in outside of Donegal town, but I have loved Dunlow so far.
Yeah, because Donegal town's lovely, Dunlow's lovely, but they're two different places,
Totally
aren't
different,
they? And you
yes.
can do that in this county. You can travel north, south, east and west. People have different accents, different attitudes, different geography.
Right.
It's astonishing.
I
In
know.
this, that's just one county.
I know. I even said last night, I said, these people are so kind. I thought all people of Donegal were kind, but the people of Dunlow are so kind. I love it.
Now you are involved in Irish dancing.
Very,
How did you get involved in that in Philadelphia?
So my grandmother actually started a school back in 1962. And when she unfortunately passed away, my mom and aunt took over the school and continued on her legacy of Irish dancing to the next generations.
And is that something you're going to do? Or
I hope
maybe
so.
you are doing?
Yes, I actually still do teach Irish dance lessons to the young kids and help them out a lot of
Brilliant.
the time.
And you're studying nutrition and dietetics. Is that concluded at this point? And what does that mean in terms of careers? Where do you go?
So I just graduated from college studying nutrition. So when I get home, I'm going to start a master's program to become a registered dietitian, and I hope to work in a hospital setting helping people with diabetes.
Right now, I'm reliably informed you had a bucket list, and one of those things, I don't even have a bucket yet, but one of those things on the bucket list was to meet Daniel O'Donnell, right? Now, sometimes
And I did.
I know, but sometimes, they say never meet your idol. That's what they say. Now, I want to know, should you have met him or not? Did your knees go
I met
weak?
him. We actually got a photo together. He got up on stage with us, and the smile on my face, I don't think it could have been wiped off for the rest of the day. And then I was getting messages from everyone in Philadelphia, screenshots of the photo of me and Daniel holding my teapot purse that I had. And I'm not kidding. I think I'm going to frame that photo in my house when I get home.
It's incredibly down to earth, though. Did you expect that?
I actually did meet him before in New York, and he remembered me. I met him right before COVID.
I think he's got an earpiece. You know?
I think no.
There's no way anyone could have such a fantastic memory because he remembers people's names.
He is fantastic. Like I said, the
he
people of Dunlow are so kind.
He might have an earpiece and a team of people in a van following him around with face recognition software or something. No, it's remarkable, and I think that has been, other than all of his other talents, I think that's been one of his keys to success because there's that personal. He never remembers my name, but anyway, that's fine. I suppose I'm. No, that's not true. Listen, all three of you, do you think the highlights passed, or is it to come? What do you think, Kira?
It's been I only came on Monday because I had a wedding at home. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. I'm particularly
what a event come to after a wedding.
I know.
Was it one of those 2-day weddings?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the wedding was Friday, Saturday.
So you're just coming around now.
Got the boat over on Sunday, so I'm coming back. But I'm looking forward to the Gala Ball and Mahari Coastal Adventures.
And you, Caitlin?
I think the parade on Sunday is going to be the highlight.
Yeah.
Just going down the main street in Dunlow. I think seeing the girls look up to you like your Disney princesses is just it's the most amazing feeling.
Yeah, and Olivia? Daniel, you can't
No.
go. Just meeting him again.
I know.
So meeting him on Friday, meeting him on Sunday.
I know. I keep saying, I think
I can't wait to see the interview.
I'll probably be blushing the whole time.
Listen, all three of you, thanks so very much indeed.
Thank you very much for having us.
To have you in. The very best of luck and continue to enjoy it. Okay, back after the break. Stay where you are.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
Green Shoes in Letterkenny and Fulcara have shoes for every occasion. All your favourite brands, from Una Healy, Tommy Bow and Echo, to Kate Appleby, Marcosi and Skechers, plus many more. Shop LK and One for All gift cards are gratefully accepted in store. Green Shoes in Letterkenny at Market Square and Letterkenny Shopping Centre, Fulcara, and online at greenshoes.com. Green Shoes, with the perfect fit for every foot.
Is the appearance of your staff important to your business? It's the first point of contact for customers when entering your premises. At C&M Embroidery in Letterkenny, they have a huge range of clothing covering all areas of the workplace. It's widely known that customers warm to and trust employees that present themselves well. Have your company name embroidered or printed on all your work uniforms. Contact C&M Embroidery on 07491 28097 and get your staff looking their best.
Your specialty is quality tiles, bathroom suites and wooden floors. Who is the best range of tiles in Donegal?
Crawford Tiles.
The best wood flooring?
Crawford Tiles.
The best bathroom suites?
Crawford Tiles.
5-day bathroom refits?
Crawford Tiles.
And who's been tampering with my questions?
That'd be me.
Crawford Tiles, Castlefin. That'd be them. 07491 43942.
The 7th annual Letterkenny Busking Festival is on Saturday the 30th of July, with musicians and singers performing all along the main street. With entertainment from 2 and buskers performing from 3 to 5, it's a great afternoon of street entertainment. The Letterkenny Busking Festival on Saturday, July the 30th. See Letterkenny Busking Festival on Facebook for details.
Dance the night away this Saturday night to Patrick Finney and his band in the Abbey Hotel, Donegal Town. That's this Saturday, the 30th of July. Doors open 9 p.m. DJ Stephen Doherty kicks off the night, followed by Patrick Finney and his band at 10:30. Admission only €15 in the Abbey Hotel, Donegal Town.
Okay, now we meet our final 3 for today. Saoirse Maloney Stevenson is the New York Mary. Good morning to you and thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
How are you keeping?
Good. I'm having a great time.
And you're a chef.
I am,
and
yes.
a quality control operator at the Centre for Discovery. So what is the connection between those two? Are they two different roles or are they intertwined?
Well, I'm a food quality control coordinator. So the Centre for Discovery is an assisted living residential center. Most of our residents are on the spectrum. We have all ages, from very, very young to older population. And my job is I work in the warehouse there and I help manage the food getting from point A to point B. We do raise our own livestock. We have our own organic farm. So most of our stuff is grown and raised internally, but we also do purchase some things. So I look over the stuff coming in and make sure it's good quality. I get to have like taste of strawberries and stuff,
Tough
which is
job,
nice.
isn't it? Yeah. They're delicious.
Yeah.
Give me another one to make sure.
Yeah, and then I make sure it's safely handled.
And your work was recognised too. You received the Irish Echo newspaper's 2021 Community Champion Award. Lovely honour to receive.
Yes, yes. No, it was amazing, and they threw an absolute awesome party in New York. It was great at Rosie O'Grady's.
Okay, fantastic. And you're following in the footsteps of your mum, is that correct?
Yes, yeah. My mom, Anne Marie. I'm sure she's watching. She was the 1984 international winner.
And what did she think about you deciding to sort of have a go at this as well?
She's absolutely thrilled. Yeah, she's super
Proud.
excited.
Was
Yeah,
pumped.
yeah.
Okay, and when did you arrive over?
I want to say I got here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long trip from New York. Yeah,
Well,
but
let's go with Wednesday. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been here before? Have you?
I have. Yeah, the last time I was over was for the 50th anniversary festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've had that sense of it. And what has it been like for you in terms of your level of enjoyment so far?
Absolute dream. I mean, the house that we're staying at, Lochmela Lodge, is amazing. Claire there is absolutely wonderful. She's thought of everything. You forget something, especially those of us who came from the States. I mean, like, we have outlets, we have plugs, extension cords, whatever we need to get ourselves all beautified, you know.
And it's through the course of these interviews that I realise how incredibly boring my life is, so fulfilling. You're involved. You have an interest in fencing.
Yeah.
Right. Now, this is not, by the way, this is not building fences, everyone. So she's not available. It's a sport.
No.
Talk to me about the sport.
So when I moved to Sullivan County, I was looking to like meet friends and stuff in the area. And I saw an ad on Facebook for a fencing club.
So your way of meeting people is to put on a mask and poke them in the
And
chest.
fight them, I guess. Yeah, sword fight them.
It's a backward way of coming at it, but I suppose afterwards and beforehand.
Yeah. I guess like it's a good exercise, especially because now I'm more of like an office setting with food rather than cooking all day.
Yeah.
And I need that physical activity, you know.
And is reach an advantage? Do you have a good reach in fencing, or
Yes.
are you confined in a space, or can you work that to your advantage?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I like sword and buckler is probably my favorite. You get like the little shield, the short sword. But rapier is another one of my favorites because that's long and that's really like all about timing.
But the first one's kind of medieval, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got that sense. I'm not saying it is, but it feels like it. Okay, listen, lovely to speak to you. We'll come back to you maybe, I'm sure. Caitlin Lycas, the Washington, D.C. Mary.
Yes.
Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you with
Thanks
us.
for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Again, is this your first rodeo in Ireland, Donegal? Have you been here before? What's your
It's my
connections?
first rodeo to Donegal, and I absolutely love it. The rugged beauty, the wild Atlantic way. My mom was born in Mitchelstown, County Cork, so I do have connections here to Ireland, and I'm a very proud Irish American.
Yeah, and Cork, I mean, it's a long way from here to Cork,
Yes, very
and
much
Tipperary for that matter. So it's very different up here, different accents, you know, different geography. You've enjoyed it though.
Yes, like the accents are very different. I'm catching on to some of the phrases and some of the Irish words as well, so I'm enjoying that as well.
All right, now talk to us about some of the things that you're interested in.
Well, I love fiddling, I love dancing, I love painting, I do dog portraits back at home. I love nature, I love all different kinds of art, jewelry making. I'm a very artsy person.
Yeah, okay, and everyone loves dogs, and
Yes.
everyone loves pictures of
I've
dogs.
noticed that in here. In Donegal, there's dogs everywhere, literally everywhere, yes.
Not most of them don't have owners, they're just dogs everywhere.
Yeah, they're just kind of floating around.
That's not quite true. And you're a graduate in art history and ethnic studies. What's ethnic studies?
So it's kind of like a little bit of everything in American studies. Like there's Irish, there's Jewish studies, African American studies. It's kind of like a conglomerate of all the studies all together.
Yeah, okay. And you have an interest in merging all of this and how you've come to want to be working with the FBI.
Yes.
Talk to me about that there, because I presume it's about sort of what would interest you about working with the FBI recovering lost and stolen art.
So I want to aid Ukraine in maintaining their cultural identity and locating their artifacts that have been looted or stolen. So I like to help them with that effort. And it's a passion.
Because that's not necessarily
of mine.
about value, that's about the history too, and the historical importance,
maintain the
isn't
history
it? Yeah.
importance, yes. So I want to do that, and I love art as well. So I'm trying to tie in both of those things to help the people and to recover the art.
Plus, it would be fascinating to do.
Yes, definitely.
As much as everything. What has been your highlight so far? What are you looking forward to, Caitlin?
Well, I love the music. I've been enjoying the music. We're sharing tunes, all the Marys, and some of them are quite good with their songs and their banjo playing and fiddling playing. So I've enjoyed that, but I'm mostly looking forward to the fashion show and the gala. It should be really good fun.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the mixed bag, isn't it?
Yes.
You've got the cultural element of it, the music element of it, and then sort of the glam side of it as well.
A little bit of everything, yes.
That's what we offer here. Sarah Lawler, San Francisco Mary, last but not least. How are you getting on, Sarah? Welcome to Ireland. How are you keeping?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, it's our pleasure. You've been here before, haven't you?
Yes, this is my second time in Donegal.
Right, okay. So you've done the initial tourism stuff and now you're at home now.
Yes, yes.
Right,
this
okay.
feels like home, thank you.
You are a teacher?
Yes.
Okay, what age groups do you teach?
I teach first class after school care. So I take the children after school. When they get off, in the afternoon, when they are dismissed by their school teachers, I pick them up. And I take them somewhere else on campus to help them with their homework, extracurricular activities, snacks, and recreation.
Yeah, and you're also heavily involved in volunteering as well, aren't you?
Yes, and I'm starting to do acting as well.
All right,
Yes.
where would you hope that would go?
Well,
Stage, screen, mixture of both? Let's have it all.
Both.
Why not? Yeah.
Both.
Excellent.
Have it all.
And how do you get involved in acting? Is it about classes or just getting involved in local productions?
I took classes in high school and in college, and I was also involved in plays as a child, like in my school plays. And I just started acting actually a year ago when I did a screenplay on YouTube, and actually won awards in New York.
All right, well done.
I made me more motivated. I finished a feature film just recently, and the premiere was a few days ago.
That's all very exciting.
So I was very happy about that. But I am very much involved with volunteering, and I'm very happy with that because in life, the quote is, "Oh, well, the world is your oyster." The world is your oyster. But I very much like what President John F. Kennedy did say in his speech. Don't ask so much what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Yeah. And I try to live by that quote in my day-to-day life.
Brilliant stuff. Exactly.
Yes.
Stick to your convictions. Isn't that what it's all about?
Yes.
Caitlin
Yes.
Lycas, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Also, Saoirse Maloney-Stevenson, great to have you with us as well. Sarah Lawler, thank you. And we look forward to hearing more from you over the course of the week, and enjoy the rest of the week. Okay, we have to take a quick break, and then we want to squeeze Mary and Isabel in. So we'll be back after these.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
Years ago, I used to dread my motor insurance renewal. Then a friend told me about O'Malley Scanlon Insurance in Ballybofey and Dunlow. They do all the hard work. They contact all the major insurance underwriters and they get the very best possible quote for me. They have saved me a small fortune over the years, and they could do the same for you.
When your insurance comes up for renewal, contact O'Malley Scanlon Insurance at their Ballybofey office on 9131020 or their Dunlow office on 952206. O'Malley Scanlon is regulated by the Central Bank.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why. The Euromillions Jackpot is an estimated €25 million. Play responsibly, in-store, in-app or at lottery.ie. The National Lottery. It could be you.
Forward Emphasis International, based in Mallinhead, are recruiting for their customer service teams with both in-office and hybrid opportunities available. Experience in contact centres or insurance services is desirable but not essential, as full training will be provided. Insurance qualifications available with bursary and study support also provided. Please visit their website www.forwardemphasis.ie and apply via their careers page.
Attention all pet lovers and owners. Gary's Pet World Letterkenny is open 7 days per week, offering the very best value on all pet foods, accessories, grooming and care products. Call in and let our staff help you spoil your pet today. You will be amazed by the range of product for all pets, with exceptional value on all leading brands. Alternatively, you can browse and buy online at petworld.ie and we will deliver to your home.
Don't just do okay in your career. Do great at Allstate. Don't settle. Soar. Don't procrastinate. innovate. Don't do mediocre, do magnificent. At Allstate, great work, great life, great people. Where great opportunities await. Search Allstate NI Careers today.
All right, you're very welcome back to the programme. Isabel Bolger is Little Miss Mary from Dunlow. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for waiting. How are you keeping?
I'm good.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying the whole week, yeah.
And you're from Laois, not primary school?
Yeah, I'm from Laois,
Okay.
in Spink.
And how did you end up taking part in Little Miss Mary?
Well, my granny is here from Donegal, and we came up to visit her, and then I just started going to the hall and the disco, and then I won it one year.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
And how proud's the family?
You're very proud.
And you've got your lovely sash, you've got a red cape, you've got a crown, you just wore the sash with us today.
Yeah.
So you feel pampered. It must be nice to have all the attention, is it?
Yeah, we're going around like princesses.
Okay. Now, your replacement will be picked at the Children's Disco on Saturday. That's where you originally picked up the title, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back in 2019.
Yeah, so.
And you're 10 now.
Yeah, I'm 10.
So you've gone into double digits since you've won your growing up. Is this now giving you a taste for the competition in the future to be the senior Mary? Would you like to do that?
Yeah, I would. I would like to.
Okay.
go
What do
and-
all your friends in Knock Primary School think of your achievement?
Yeah, they're very proud.
Yeah. And are you going to be upset handing the crown and the sash over on Saturday, or do you feel your time is done? You've fulfilled your role?
Well, I'll be a little upset, but it's time for another Little Miss Mary now.
Okay. And what do you like? What hobbies do you have?
I like Irish dancing, and I also do swimming.
Very good. Okay. Well, it's been lovely meeting you. Enjoy the rest of your time.
Okay.
And
Goodbye.
It's goodbye. You're very
Bye.
good. What a lovely speaker. Finally, Mary Ward, just in a couple of seconds. You know, there's so many people it takes to support the relatively small amount of people that are keeping this show on the road at the moment.
Absolutely. And I here today would like to thank all, especially the Dunlow traders who have come together to make the festival happen, to our coordinator Deirdre, and to all the businesses in Dunlow. They've been wonderful and very supportive of us. But not only that, but the people throughout the country who are hosting the Marys for the week. We had a wonderful time yesterday in Glencolmkill, Slieve League, Rusty Markle. Today we're going to be hosted by a number of people in Letterkenny, and all throughout the week we'll be supported by businesses, and we're very grateful to that. Without those people, and people like yourself who are giving up their time at the weekend free, I might add, there wouldn't be a festival. And people all down through the years, the committees all down through the years who have come together to make sure that Mary from Dunlow has survived for 55 years. On behalf of the present committee, I would like to thank all those.
Okay, and the future's bright with people like Isabel involved.
People are the future is very bright with people like Isabella.
Okay.
And of course, the committee of Deirdre and Air Award, they're very young. I'm the golden oldie here, you know. But it's great to see the young people stepping up to take over the reins.
Yeah, well, you're not going anywhere yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, Mary, listen, you're looking fantastic, and I'm sure everyone wants to thank you for what you're doing. So I'll do that on their behalf. Thank you so very much. Thanks, Isabella.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. It's lovely having all of you in. Right, okay, it is time for us to take a break for the news now. And we're going to be handing the reins over to John Breslin. My apologies, running over a little bit at 2 minutes past 12. It's time for that news update. And we say a very good afternoon now to Michaela Clark.
Thanks, Greg. Good afternoon.